Ooh, ooh,
Goblins.
Werewolf bar mitzvah, spooky, scary, boys becoming men, men becoming wolves.
To our Coliseum.
I think I set the mood there. I don't know what you guys are saying there. I mean, come on. I think I nailed that.
It's Halloween for people that have bad laryngitis.
6 out of 10, no dark tranquility.
Welcome everyone to Rock Coliseum, the kind of Halloween edition. Some of us are kind of wearing Halloween stuff. That's not what you came here for. You came here to see us kill off bad musicians and praise good ones, as we've done many times before. For those of you who are unaware, this is Rock Coliseum, where we give the thumbs up or thumbs down to your suggestions. Before we get into the rules proper, we'll do some quick introductions. Many of you know who we are at first, so we'll make this very fast. John, quickly introduce yourself.
Pika, Pikachu.
Dang it, John. I asked one thing. One thing.
Pika.
No, he did. No, he did. He introduced himself. It was just in Pikachu.
He just said PP
I
on screen over again.
I speak Pikachu,
You
and I
speak
can
PP?
verify.
Is that what you say in Crash? You speak PP?
No further comment.
Oh, gosh. Mark, please.
Hey there, folks. My name is Mark. I'm the host of Spectrum Pulse, talking about music, movies, art, and culture. As you can clearly tell, I've got a new backdrop behind me. That's behind him since I've moved ever since. Plus, Voltorb is here to say hi to the Pikachu over there. Clearly, they have suffered a very similar overgrowth problem. I understand. I am very sympathetic to his plight in these very trying times.
That's 6'9" Pikachu. That does sound intense.
Pika 6'7".
Oh, excuse me. Pardon me, sir. Wow, I was way off. And Crash, if you would.
Pikachu. No, I'm kidding. Hey everyone, I'm Crash Thompson. You might know me from my specific YouTube channel and my shenanigans. I just finished my most recent episode of Fimi over here. If y'all were fine with that. Oh, I had some hot takes in my last bit. I know that.
No.
Me have a hot take? Never. I'm the internet's coziest boy, of course.
That is not a name you want to assign to yourself, sir.
The internet's coziest.
Okay, that was sarcasm, by the way. That was sarcasm.
You made Pikachu talk, man. Come on.
Dear. I should
Just
have
snapped Pikachu out of it. Okay, I'm an adult now. I'm out of this.
I'm a head out.
I should have just stuck with Pika.
And my name's Luke Spencer, host of Rot, the channel you're watching now. Thank you very much for tuning in. We love doing this. We already have over 250 of you here, and it's only been like 3 minutes, so that's a good sign for us. Please hit the like button if you can. That helps a ton to get this video pushed to people that aren't subscribed. The more viewers we have for this, the better. And here's the rules for what we do for Rock Coliseum. It's ridiculous, but we love doing it. We take suggestions for the first hour from the chat. They can be anything: an album, a song, a band, usually bands and artists. You can also pair them against each other: band versus band, album versus album, song versus song. We give the thumbs up or thumbs down on what we collectively think about each artist, band, song, versus whatever that might be. If it's all the thumbs up, that band or artist lives to see another day. If it's all the thumbs down, we think of a creative way to kill them off. So, that's pretty much how it goes. The first hour is a free-for-all. Anything is welcome. The second half is for super chats. Do not feel obliged that you have to do super chats, but we are extremely grateful if you do, and we will go through as many super chats as we can. The rest will be answered in a Google Doc super chat form that we always finish out. We have a lot of fun doing this. All super chats are read at random, so don't feel like you don't have a chance if you didn't get until late. I think that's all the rules we need to apply, but the only thing is, for this first hour, try to give us bands, artists, or verses that we all have a chance of knowing. If some of you start suggesting, like I always say, Zach and the Zactones, and none of us know who that is, it's not going to make for good discussion. So for the first hour, leave it for more something that you would think all four of us would have a good chance of knowing, not your neighbor's band that plays in the basement and hasn't had a live show yet.
To be fair, we couldn't tell one way or the other because none of us go outside. But I do want to highlight one thing here. And this is more specifically, we're all in trying times. We all want to make sure things are reasonable. So I've got a special beer cozy I want to hold up to the screen here.
If you're
There we
grouchy,
go.
irritable, or mean, there will be a $20 charge for putting up with you. You hear that?
Sounds like
20
an asshole.
bucks.
Yeah.
At minimum.
Yeah.
That's a flat rate, people.
Yes.
And I decide how long it takes for me to put up with you.
Yes, and Mark is not a patient person with tolerance like that.
I'm really not.
Not
I've
for that.
discovered that about myself.
Not for that.
And
So,
he is not patient, and he's been drinking. So just laying that out there.
Double whammy.
the Canadian niceness is gone. Now we get drunk Spectrum Pulse.
Honestly, I am most of the part completely sober, but I'm just enjoying myself.
Fair enough. So, did I get everything out? I think, are we ready to go? Pikachu?
Yep.
Crash?
I
Mark?
believe so.
Voltorb?
Yes.
Okay. That being said, again, super chats will be read as many as we can for the second hour. Feel free to put them in whenever you want. The first hour is a free-for-all. You can start making suggestions now. As I pull out the chats. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, here they come. Thank God I put that 5-second little stall thing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the slow mode is definitely a blessing.
Yes.
For these.
Okay, here we go. And stop. Wow, we're going back to the 90s with this one. Okay. Candlebox.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's 90s. It's
Yep.
very
That is
90s.
90s. Oddly enough, they had an album come out in 2016.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Okay, does everyone have an opinion?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
I
do
do.
too. Mark?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Candlebox. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Across the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
I'm sorry.
It's not even like an enthusiastic.
No, I'm a little bit more here because, like,
Yeah.
Crash, if you want to go ahead,
All I'll say is that Candlebox were certainly not the worst grunge band you could go with, but man, they only had like 1 or 2 songs that were really legitimately good. You actually try to dig into their deep cuts, and it gets real boring real quick.
Yeah.
There's just, and the dude just, I don't know, the way he sings, it's always like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like he oversins everything, and it's like, chill. Just please chill.
There wasn't even one word in that whole impression.
No, then there is barely one word in Candlebox's entire discography.
Ouch.
That's just what you put up with.
I'll go just because that's one of the CDs I inherited from my sister. She's 7 years older,
okay.
It's like that self-titled that had you
Yep.
and
You.
For You, the 2 songs.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be more creative than that. Come on now. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That album is their best by a long shot, but they really capitalized on timing. I actually heard that 2016 album. It wasn't bad, but it was nothing that special in hindsight. I saw them live, I want to say that year because they were at a festival. Fine, but like all these things for a 30-year band, they have 2 songs, Cover Me, and that's the other song, and you can name, Cover Me and You, and that's it. And that's all I can really say that's memorable about a band that has had a 4X platinum album. So, Mark, if you want to go next.
The thing is that this is one of those bands that was a little bit before my time. So the one experience that I had with Candlebox was a lot of my friends who were older than me saying, no, this band was truly a thing in the mid-90s. Like, they were truly there for a second. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But then I went back to their charts. I went back to the chart success, and they are the definition of one of those bands that was riding a trend at the time and had no other ideas. And there's a couple post-grunge bands, especially after Kurt Cobain's death, that caught a little bit of traction in there. I kind of put Live in that category too.
Yes.
And they're still around also.
Exactly, but there will always be an audience for that. I put Hum in that category too.
I get it, but I wouldn't necessarily
similar audience.
Similar-ish.
Fair enough.
I mean, we could argue about this, but I don't want to.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Oh,
To me,
absolutely.
I just never saw the point of them. Like, I didn't think the lyrics were good. I didn't think the production was good. They're just boring.
And John, why does Candlebox get the thumbs down?
I don't know that their deep cuts are really anything, but from the time I started listening to rock radio in the 2000s, they were already getting played several songs a lot. And now I think they might be that band that if I was stuck listening to the radio for some reason, maybe I wouldn't skip it, at least not right at first, like I would for like a Five Finger Death Punch or something. I'm reaching for the knob, but I'm not going to see it out.
Yeah. This is not the vomitous thumbs down. It's just like, that type of thing.
Like, not my thing.
Yeah.
To build off of John and Mark, what you guys were saying, just real quick, like, they are one of those bands. They honestly weren't the biggest shit back in the time. Like, when their album released, they weren't the biggest deal, but nostalgia was really great to them. The grunge nostalgia, once Generation X started getting old, they started remembering it, and that's why you always hear you on the radio if you're listening to the right station.
No, you still do. So,
Yeah.
How does Candlebox die in the Coliseum?
They're forced to make a new metal album.
To
cash in on the next trend that
Yes, it's coming back.
that did kill a lot of grunge bands.
It did.
So that
a
seems
lot of them
appropriate.
tried. Yeah. Okay.
A lot of them did.
Yeah. They're forced to make a new metal album, and they can't figure it out. They just go insane in the studio, and they die. Okay.
Playing around, they do like the Suicide Silence approach there.
Okay.
Ouch. Oh boy. That's pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
Pretty gruesome.
So we already got one thumbs down, one death, and one crash impression. I hope you guys realize how big of a show this already is so far.
And I think I already destroyed everybody's earphones with my little intro in the beginning.
Intro.
So I think we're on track.
Yeah.
Okay.
R.I.P. headphones users.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
I'm sorry, I'm working on my power electronics impressions.
Okay.
I'm sure your neighbors love that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, your poor neighbor.
I have so many walls, and and I'm on the lower floor of my condo, so I'm opposite me is a parking garage.
Okay. Fair enough.
Just don't piss off that homeowners association, dude.
The Canadian Homeowners Association. And
those HOAs will eat you alive, man.
Stop. Okay. I know we've done this on the document. I don't know if we've ever done this live on video. If we have, let me know. We'll go to the next. I don't think we've done it on video. Finger 11.
I think we have.
Yeah, we have.
On video? Okay, then we'll move on.
I remember talking about that because they're Canadian, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah, I
okay.
remember.
And stop. Oh, okay. Have we done Audio Slave before?
Yes, early. Very, very
Early?
early.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Then stop. Ooh, okay. This is an interesting one, and I think I know the answer, but this will be good for discussion. We haven't done this. Band versus band, Smashing Pumpkins versus Silversun Pickups.
Interesting pairing there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Unique
Very different.
Two unique vocalists. I
yeah.
see that as like
Very much so.
one comparison at least.
Ooh. Very
Okay.
interesting.
Okay.
I can do this.
I can
do
too.
this.
John?
Yeah.
Mark? Okay. Just in the order it was read. Okay. So, Smashing Pumpkins. 1, 2, 3.
Really?
Okay.
Really? Oh, okay.
And then
I have an
Silversun
explanation.
Pickups.
Close.
Okay.
It's close.
Okay, and then Silversun Pickups. 1, 2, 3.
And
Okay. Mark, you had the one for Silversun Pickups if you want to go first.
Okay, I know what I know what everyone's thinking, and that's generally is that you clearly Silversun Pickups is phenomenally derivative of what Smashing Pumpkins laid down, and Silversun Pickups do not have a classic album in the same way that Smashing Pumpkins do.
yeah.
Here's the thing. As much as you can make that argument, Silversun Pickups also don't have the turd albums that Smashing Pumpkins do either. And especially
Not
with
yet.
Billy Corgan still part of the whole situation, and they're releasing another album this year.
And James Eha came back the last couple of years too, and they're still...
And it hasn't helped.
And that's what
yeah.
shocked me. That's what shocked me. I'll go for the defense of for Smashing Pumpkins. I agree with your argument on that too. Silversun Pickups at their worst are boring, but Smashing Pumpkins at their worst are wretched. However, Smashing Pumpkins at their best are legendary. And that's what it gets me. 90s Smashing Pumpkins, you know, there's so much more gold in all of that for Siamese Dream and Melancholy. And I get there's so many good songs on by Silversun Pickups, especially on their first two. Swoon, which was the one that hooked me, and the one before it,
Carnivus.
Carnivus. There you go. Thank you. And they have many singles after that. I never once felt they had a complete album. That's my opinion.
I would agree with that.
So
Yeah,
that's my
that's
big thing. And
very
one
well
thing
said.
before I go, I've seen both live. And I've seen Silversun pickups live 3 times. 2 out of 3 times, they were terrible.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that they're a bad
Awful.
live band. Yeah.
Like, they just cannot
Ouch.
figure out how to make his voice work in a live setting. Like, he's as whispery quiet his voice is, it's even quieter live, and you can't hear anything. Smashing Pumpkins know how to play the hits. Even their newer stuff, it's really nice when you're standing in line, getting a drink, not paying attention. It's nice background music. So, John, why don't you go next for Smashing Pumpkins?
Sure. I like Silversun pickups a lot. I really do. And I guess in a way I get the comparison in the sense that they can both kind of have some dreamy, almost, I mean, the Silversun pickups more so on a little bit on the shoegazy side. But I have to go with Smashing Pumpkins just because, like you said, the 90s material, the highs there, especially like Melancholy is one that I've gotten into a lot more in recent years. I think that really just sealed in for me that like even Silversun pickups at their best aren't topping that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Crash, why do you give for Smashing Pumpkins?
Again, it is just like with you guys. It's death by comparison.
Yeah.
Silversun pickups at their best are not just absolute as good as they are. I love Silversun pickups, some of their best stuff, but it's not Melancholy. It's not Adore. It's not, you know, man, I wouldn't. And that's the thing. Even when Smashing Pumpkins has failed, and they put out some pretty interesting failures,
Laughably bad.
They put out some laughably bad, but at least even then they're bad in an interesting way. Machina is terrible in a very interesting way. I wouldn't even say that album's terrible, but people don't like it, and I get why they don't like it, but I don't know. At least when they mess up, they usually give you something to talk about. I like the last couple of Silversun pickups albums. I couldn't tell you a damn thing about them. They're just
Widow's Weeds was the last one, and I reviewed it. And I don't even remember it that much. So.
I remember nothing from that.
There were some good songs on there.
There was nothing awful. It's just there was nothing awful. It's just in one ear out the other, that type of thing.
But I get it. I mean, I give it a 3 out of 5 myself. I think there's still a couple of solid ones though.
Okay.
So the funny thing is, I will say one quick thing, because I agree with all of you, and I agree with the whole point that Smashing Pumpkins has highs that Silversun pickups probably will never get, especially as they have made a lot of really dumbass production choices in recent years. But I almost think the successes of Smashing Pumpkins kind of works against them, beyond the fact that Billy Corgan is insufferable.
Ego.
Oh my God,
ego.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beyond that, when you know the heights in which the band has reached, the disappointment is all the harder to swallow, especially when he keeps trying to bring back old members of the lineup, and he's such an abusive shithead to work with.
It's not.
I can't argue that.
Pleasant.
So
I just don't listen. I don't even listen to the new stuff, to be honest.
You're not missing out on anything.
they have a new album coming out either this week or next week or something like that.
I heard that it was coming.
It's getting vetoed if somebody tries to add it to my schedule.
Preemptively. So Silversun pickups do have to die. I hear they're really nice people, but they do have to die in the Coliseum. How does Silversun pickups die?
They get caught by a bunch of black metal musicians who are playing the atmospheric stuff.
Ooh.
They get offended and like trampled to death by those 12-inch
By the
black
true
metal
cult
clogs, like those black platform heels that are 12 inches, like stomped on by black metal fans.
I know we're going to hear about that from somebody who is in our respective chats later, so I'll let that one go.
Yeah. I know exactly who you mean, and that'll be fun.
It's probably a weirdo. Whatever. Probably. As we move on, thank you guys. That was a good suggestion, though. That was actually better. That was some interesting conversation on that one. As we go on, we'll move over here and stop. Ooh, this might tear one of your hearts out. Linkin Park, Song versus Song. In the End versus Numb.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more. Okay, so Mark and John have answers. Crash, you got an answer?
I got an answer.
Okay. I think I do too. Okay. So in the order it was read, Linkin Park's In the End. 1, 2, 3. Really? Okay.
Just me?
And then Numb. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So Crash, you had the one for In the End. Why don't you go first?
Here's the thing. I like Numb. Don't make me think that this is like, oh yeah, they're clearly better. Like, no, this was a tough choice for me.
Numb.
Oh, Yeah, no, I like both songs kind of equally. This was like a really tough choice for me. I like In the End because it has that much extra punch to it, and has that much extra bit of power to it. It's got that more it's got a bit more edge to it. Numb is fine, but Numb is also very repetitive. It can get a little drony at times, but I don't know. End has a bit more flavor. In the End, I am remembering this right. That one's off of Meteora, right?
In the End,
or is that also
Hybrid
a
Theory?
It's off Hybrid Theory. Okay, yeah, my mistake. I didn't remember. I couldn't remember if that was a later cut or not.
I do stuff like that.
Yeah, but no, that one has like just a bit more character to it, just a little bit more flavor. I don't know. Numb can be very repetitive, and Numb got memed. Numb got memed so bad.
In the End, got memed though. Come on, I tried so hard.
Falling got memed more than anything though.
Yeah. So John, you had the double thumbs up for Numb. Well, let's have you go next for Numb.
It starts with one thing. I don't know why. No. I just think Numb has, as with my repeated opinions about Meteora as a whole, I just think that they did a lot of the things that they did well in the first album even better this time. Chester's voice had even more control and poise, and there was so much emotion in that performance, just even vocally. And the music that goes along with it definitely fits in line with the rest of Meteora, while it's still more ballad-esque. I don't know. I love In the End too, but it hasn't aged as well as Numb has for me.
Okay. Fair enough. I echo kind of Crash's reverse sentiment. I don't hate In the End by any standards. I obviously love both songs. Crash loves, John loves, Mark loves probably. And at the same time, I feel like Numb is such more impactful because it comes out the end of Meteora, such a powerful album. It is that exclamation mark, and that is Chester at his best. That is him, like one of his best performances is on that song. That's why it just barely ekes out In the End. And In the End, I still really enjoy. I mean, that was the song that defined that generation in 2000 and 2001 pretty much, but I still say Numb as a better song overall and a better piece of an album as opposed to In the End on Hybrid Theory. So that's just mine. And Mark, why does Numb over In the End?
First piece comes in production. I think the melody that comes forward on Numb is a lot more defined, especially on the bridge. I think the bridge of Numb is really strong, especially as it escalates up and builds into the final hook. I also will say I like Meteora more than Hybrid Theory anyway. I agree with John that it's really a refinement of a lot of things they were building on there. I also say, as someone who does a lot of karaoke, Numb might not get the huge crowd reaction that you will get with In the End. But Numb will get you more respect at karaoke if you can pull it off.
Let's hear the bridge, Mark.
I can't get that. I don't want to destroy everyone's speakers again.
So you used it on that, but you won't use it on Numb? Oh, lame.
Hang on. I want to make sure I get the. Here's the thing. The last time I sang something here, I had a bunch of people hop in the comments saying, "Mark, you got the lyrics wrong. You got the lyrics wrong." If I can pull it out, if I get the right moment, it'll come up and it feels spontaneous.
There you go. As long as it comes sometime, I think that'll be a nice surprise for everyone. So, so unfortunately, In the End, it does have to fade away. It didn't even matter. Don't know how.
That kind of just sold it. You just did it right there.
Yeah.
They tried so hard and they got so far.
In the end, it didn't matter. Shame.
Perfect poetry, guys. We did.
By
the way, before I pull the next one, did you guys hear the grandson cover of One Step Closer that got released today?
Didn't actually get I know you shared that with us, but I didn't
shared it. I didn't know if you guys saw it. I like Grandson. Not a fan of this cover.
I don't even like Grandson very much, but that was
it's big bucket of nothing. It's like when you talk about karaoke, it sounds like the backtrack of a karaoke, just like the watered down. Okay, quick beep boop beep. There's the programming. That's the beat for One Step Closer. Sing on it.
It reminds me of 21 Pilots covering Cancer.
Oh
yeah, good example. Good example, Mark. Yeah. See, Linkin Park are a deceptively hard band to cover. I have heard several really bad covers
Nailed
of
it.
Linkin Park.
Okay.
Yeah, come to think of it, yeah, I don't know if I've heard a great Linkin Park cover.
Guys, we
Same.
have 376 people watching so far. It's been over 300 for quite a while now. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
Please hit the like button. If we get to 200 likes, Crash will do an embarrassing impression. Something we'll make up later. We don't know what it is yet, but it'll be something. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. We want 200 likes. As we go to the next one, and stop. Yeah, well... remember,
Oh, dear.
So off camera, I talked to these gentlemen about something that's going to eventually come up no matter what, and it
here
came
it
up
is.
no matter what.
Here it is.
Very
Lay it on
topical.
us.
Machine Gun Kelly's Tickets to My Downfall, and that's what it says on there. It doesn't say
It's
the
very
actual...
specific.
Yes, more
No
specific
way.
than just the artist.
Okay.
So
Right.
the actual album.
Almost like this would spark controversy.
I
Who'd have
couldn't see how,
thought?
given that we've all talked about it on our channels.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, it's on there somewhere, so we can find out who put it later. But all right, Machine Gun Kelly's Tickets to My Downfall. 1, 2, 3.
Man, I just got done talking about this in my Femi. Come on, y'all know.
Okay.
Y'all know.
All right, here we go.
So Mark, you
Yeah.
gave the double thumbs up. I think you gave the most
Nope.
positive review of all of us.
I'm going last.
You wanna go
I
last?
was about to say,
You know what?
okay,
I'll
I
let you
go
defer.
first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in order of, I'll go first because I don't think I hated it nearly as much as you guys. If that's okay, here's my thing.
No. Yeah.
Okay, I gave it. I was like between a 5 or 6 out of 10 on my review of it. Here's the thing: this album, his voice on there, I don't care for at all. His lyric writing is just there for me. It's very post-punk, 2005. Write it down, complain about life, and that's it. However, the production of it, Travis Barker did a good job. He made some good music behind him. Machine Gun Kelly had a lot of help, a bucket of polish, and it made it presentable. Does that make Machine Gun Kelly good? Not really. Have I gone back to that album since? No. Do I hate it? No. I don't hate it at all. I don't love it either. I'm very down the middle. So I wouldn't begrudge anyone that likes it. I wouldn't really begrudge anyone that hates it. That's where I am on that. So, John.
Centrist.
Yeah.
Well, I got 2,700 dislikes and counting on my review, so
Ooh. Damn, for real.
that was fun. That was
I'll
super
bet.
fun. 2,600 likes, but still, it's very, very close. Very deadlocked. You can tell that people
Yeah.
are fighting over this. Right?
Yeah. Oh, no, we're not the only
that-
ones. So I knew
That's
that.
a ratio. Yeah.
I mean, like, if I wanted to listen to this sound that he's doing, I mean, why would I not listen to the Untitled Blink album or really anything else that came out around that time? Because it's literally just that, except with the shitty sounding singer. And that's the whole album. That's virtually, do you like this man singing who can't really sing at all and still doesn't sound good over this polished pop punk that sounds even more polished than it did back then and not in a good way? Then maybe you'll love this.
Is that your magazine quote for promoting the album? Like 2 out of 10.
That was the most positive one we could find.
Oh, boy.
Crash.
I will say what I said in my Femi. The man is only getting attention because it's Machine Gun Kelly. If anybody who wasn't Machine Gun Kelly presented an album like this with this level of sincerity, y'all would laugh it out of the freaking room. The man is just not talented. He's just not talented. He's not a talented songwriter. He's a very untalented musician, and he can't play his instruments like. And the thing is, too, the dude doesn't have an original idea in his head. Like John said, like, I preferred this music better when it was called From Under the Cork Tree or Take Off Your Pants and Jacket or all of
That's
the other
the one I
people.
heard, yeah.
He almost got sued for copying. You know, like, I mean, like I said, he went into this project with decent intentions. Oh, hey, I want people to listen to pop punk and get into this. Okay, that's cool, but like, dude, if you wanted to release a covers album, have the balls to release a covers album. Don't take other people's ideas and make them your own.
Those are the deluxe edition, okay, Crash? You don't get those on the standard.
To be fair, the deluxe
His
edition did
amazing
have that
10 out of
used
10
cover.
cover of Mystery Business.
That deluxe
I
edition
will
did have that guy with Burt McCracken on there. That was one song that actually should have been on the original, but that wouldn't have saved it. But anyway,
Like-
Mark has been very patient.
Oh, yes.
Mark, why does it get the double thumbs up?
Here's the thing. I agree with everything that Crash and John just said.
Okay.
And I've said this from the very beginning. I will call it derivative. I will say that Machine Gun Kelly is a pretty mediocre singer, and he cannot play his guitar to save his life. That's been pretty well recognized. And yet, what's the spirit of punk? What's the spirit of somebody who can step in with basically pick up an instrument and say, I'm going to try to make something, well, in his case, completely mercenary, because he got laughed out of hip hop. A lot of you guys didn't have to cover the albums that he put out ahead of time and how bad Bloom was. Bloom was terrible. And then Eminem.
I did actually listen to that one. Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
And then Eminem ruined his career with a single kill shot.
That I remember.
I was not surprised to see him do the pop punk thing. And to me, it was completely mercenary. I could say it was mercenary. He was clearly trying to hop on a trend that was pioneered by Lil Peep and Juice WRLD, rest in peace, and all the rest of that thing. The thing is, and this is what I think is kind of a little ingenious about it, he comes in with a very much fuck it, what else am I going to do attitude. And he comes into the genre, and he clearly is just doing it for a cash grab. But somewhere midway through the album, he starts finding something that's kind of working about it. And that's what actually kind of clicked for me. The production actually is pretty damn good. I think Travis Barker's drum work gives it a lot of polish.
That was the selling point for me. So
even I admitted that. Yeah,
I think Halsey sounds better on this than anything she's ever done. Yeah. I think Black Bear sounds better on this than anything he's ever done.
You notice how all of those you notice how all of these other people sound good on this Machine Gun Kelly record. Doesn't sound good on this.
Yeah, I don't mind him not sounding bad on it because it comes, again, punk tradition. Punks typically punks have a reputation of sounding pretty shit on their records. Are we going to get mad at Jello Biafra for sounding pretty bad in early Dead Kennedys albums?
The thing is,
he has access to everything.
Yeah, that's a little
See, Jello Biafra also didn't have Halsey and beautiful production and Travis Barker.
Yeah, he had $1 million production. Yeah.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, if we're going to rant about the privileges behind him, we're ranting at capitalism. And that's a larger conversation. If we want to have that,
okay, Mark, way to divert.
we can have that conversation. We can. But ultimately, I'm looking at this at succeeding at what it basically sets out to do and make a pretty stupid, dumbass pop punk album. And I know some of us hold pop punk to a higher standard. But I guarantee that a lot of the content that actual Machine Gun Kelly puts in his lyrics is probably a lot more true to how a lot of pop punks behave in real life and have for decades, going back to the inception with early Descendants albums.
Yeah.
And that lends it a level of honesty that, frankly, a lot of pop punks have not indulged, especially with the newest wave that's trying to be more respectable. I like that wave, but I'm also willing to give space for this stuff too.
And I think that's why, one thing, I'm so down the middle on this, because there is much better out there. Absolutely. You can listen to Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
It's not going to be in the same conversation as The Wonder Years or Spanish Love Songs.
But to finish my point, there's also way worse. And that's why I'm so down the middle. When you have Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, which this feels like it kind of ripped off, which is what everyone is saying, I would still rather listen to this than No Pads, No Helmets, Just Hacks from Simple Plan. So I don't know. That's why I'm so down the middle on this pop punk venture. So
I will say, regardless of how we feel about this, or good or bad, whatever Machine Gun Kelly is out there doing, if his end goal of getting more people into the genre and finding better music on their own does play out, more power to him.
Sure.
I'm totally down with that, because people, love it or hate it, there is much better stuff than what Machine Gun Kelly is pumping out right now. So all you have to do is just step a little bit outside of your own comfort zone and find it.
But he's dating Megan Fox.
I didn't even know about that.
He's dating Megan Fox, guys. Yeah. He's dating Megan Fox.
Good for Megan Fox.
Did you see Megan Fox in the music video? He's dating Megan Fox. That's what I kept getting on my video thing. It was like, he's dating Megan Fox.
How many artists throughout the course of their career have used their music videos as an excuse to say, check out how hot my girlfriend is?
I've never seen that happen until MGK.
Okay, that happens way more. Whitesnake's biggest video, Here I Go Again on My Own, that was basically the same thing.
Guns N' Roses.
Poison had to do that. Poison had to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You can even make an argument that Kurt Cobain did it with Courtney Love, but that's a larger and more messy conversation.
If I see one comment about that last thing in an ill-reputed way, you're banned. Banned.
Yeah. No,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I say that not impugning Courtney
No,
Love.
I know what you meant, Mark.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to all the snarky commenters. That's what I'm prevented from. So, Machine Gun Kelly's Tickets to My Downfall must be destroyed in the Coliseum. How does it get destroyed?
He has to make his next album without the production, without the guest stars. He has to actually make that real ass punk album with, lo-fi production and just raw. But he has to make his Ramones self-titled or his Clash self-titled record. Yeah,
or
he
his
has to do it.
Days. Sam Days.
Thank you.
There you go.
He has to cut everything out and try to make that real ass punk album, and then we get to see how that goes.
Would that just make him jump to another genre? He's going to country next, if that's the case.
He's going to country.
Well, I guess this place. I guess pop punk doesn't want me either. On to country.
Henry Rollins shuts him down in punk, and then he has to jump.
Ooh, Henry Rollins would punch him right in the face, too.
Henry's a nice dude. He's got no reason to tear him apart, really. But no, he doesn't. He doesn't.
People in the face than Machine Gun Kelly. Because again, I'm not gonna begrudge Machine Gun Kelly. He's not very talented across the board. I just kind of treat him as a bit of a dumbass in the same vein as Andrew WK.
Yeah, but Andrew WK is, I would put way higher because he plays every instrument really well.
He's a very talented musician. Yeah.
But it's ultimately on the same intellectual.
I get what you're saying. Andrew WK is not writing Shakespeare in his lyrics. I admit that.
You're meant to take Machine Gun Kelly about as serious as you take.
I agree.
Andrew
completely.
WK. I can't argue that. I can't argue that myself.
Okay, good suggestion though. That was going to happen no matter what. So glad we got it out of the way now.
That's a Band-Aid ripped right out.
Go ahead.
Want to quickly address one thing in the comments I saw?
Go ahead.
Machine Gun. It will not bug me if Machine Gun Kelly goes to country because he won't. Because country's not cool.
Knock on wood.
No.
And the second thing is there's a little bit of a difference between crapping on the traditions of country, which have the annals of tradition, and pop punk, which was specifically built on deconstructive irreverence.
Yeah,
fair enough.
So I take both of them a little bit more or less seriously, to some extent. At least that's where I come from.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, again, good suggestion. Thank you guys so much. We're up to 183 likes. If we get to 200, we'll figure out another bad Crash impression. Thank you guys again. We're right at 400 people watching right now, which is huge for us. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
I know, this is huge. Keep the super chats coming. Again, it's a free-for-all the first hour, and then we go to super chats in the second half. So as we go over here, and stop. Okay. That's an interesting one that we have not done before, versus...
Okay.
It'll make good discussion. Hollywood Undead versus I Prevail.
Okay.
I mean, I got an answer for
I
this.
do too.
Sure.
So do I.
So, John, Mark, Craig. Okay. In order, Hollywood Undead. 1, 2, 3.
I knew that was going to happen.
Fair enough.
I knew that was going to happen.
I Prevail. 1, 2, 3.
I have to.
Yeah, one or the other.
Assuming we have to pick one.
Yeah, we do have to pick. We don't do the double thumbs down unless it's something really wretched. So, John, for Hollywood Undead, why did they get the thumbs up?
Dude, that was all I've listened to, like my senior year of high school.
It's adorable, though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I know every word to every song on Swan Songs. And a lot of American Tragedy, too. And I went through, I kind of fell off after their 2013 album, and I have not really listened to, nor have I enjoyed any of their new stuff that I have sampled. Don't care about it, but the words are still up there in my head, and not that they were great, but I like them more than I Prevail.
I can't argue that, man. Your Hollywood Undead is my seether. I feel that pain.
Okay.
Exactly.
I feel that pain.
Okay, Crash, why don't you go ahead? Why does I Prevail barely get the thumbs up?
See, I Prevail barely gets a thumbs up because Hollywood Undead, like I've mentioned in previous videos for me, Hollywood Undead was just the band that made me stop listening to nu metal. That was the click moment where I was like, oh my god, this sucks. What am I doing listening to this genre? It's going so far downhill. This train is clearly off the tracks. I need to just become an indie head. I need to go through my hipster phase. That new Block Party rocks. I'm just gonna phase into my hip. I'm gonna buy a scarf. I'm gonna buy a record. I'm gonna buy a vinyl record.
Not the
player,
scarf, Crash.
And that is going to be my next phase. That truly was my next phase. But no, like Hollywood Undead, it's just I Prevail. They just seem like kind of a bland, kind of mediocre band to me. I really just don't have any opinion on them whatsoever. But the only opinion I have on Hollywood Undead is not good. So by virtue of being bland, they barely get the.
Okay, fair enough. So. Mark, why does I Prevail get the thumbs up?
I came to both bands late, as in like latter half of the 2010s. Mm-hmm. It still feels weird to refer to that in the past tense, but I'll move past that.
Yeah, right.
The one thing I will say is I actually reviewed Hollywood Undead in 2017 off that project, and that album is bad.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. Bad. I got so many people who were defending it in my comments section.
Oh, they got a huge fan.
They have a big
so did I.
Space.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think if I gave Hollywood Undead a 3 out of 10, which is what I gave them, if I gave I Prevail a 5 out of 10, nobody would care.
I agree.
Nope.
I agree.
Exactly.
Nobody would care. Nobody would matter. It would just be very much of, you know what? They will have fans out there, but the fans will not get that agitated about it. Hollywood Undead fans, I still get comments to this day about that video.
They are,
And I'm like, if you're making horrorcore, death grips, clipping, horror, there are so many other rap rock acts. Fever 333, Run the Jewels. If we're looking about rap acts that are so much more hardcore and even edgy in comparison with Hollywood Undead, are you serious?
Yeah, just better people look for the better stuff. It exists.
Yeah.
It exists. It's right there. It is right there.
And I'll go ahead.
Like, is Hollywood Undead rap rock for people who are afraid of black people? Like sorry, that's mean, but
it's mean, but it's not untrue.
Oh, we have 200 people now watching. Oh, dang it! I'll go really.
No. Our numbers jump up, but it's all the fans coming in to sabotage us now. It's all the stands. The stands have found us.
Johnny 3 Tears for Life 666 says, "Yeah, that's all the stuff." I'll be really quick. I Prevail. I always felt is a singles band, but the singles can sometimes work. Hurricane, Bow Down, things like that. I never felt they had a complete album. I will take a singles band with occasional good singles over Hollywood Undead, where I feel like I can't get through one full song without going, oh.
It's this.
It took 7 people. It took 7 people to make this song. Really, 7? 7? And I've seen both bands. I've seen both bands live a couple times. I Prevail is fine for what they are, and Hollywood Undead is just that frat boy posing session, hype the crowd up, kind of hop around, just nothing. And that's just me. So, Hollywood Undead unfortunately has to die in the Rock Coliseum. How does Hollywood Undead die?
They have to star. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. We'll hear both. We'll hear both.
Okay, John, you first.
They have to be extras in the background of the next 10 seasons in The Walking Dead, only to be killed off screen at the end of that run.
But they have to wear their masks too, so we know who they are.
They have to keep the masks on the whole time, so they're identified in the background.
Ooh,
Crash, what was yours?
That would suck.
Yeah,
mine's a little more harsh. I suggested they have to tour with Mushroomhead.
Who's going to that show?
Yeah, if we're gonna talk the bad multi-member Slipknot-ish kind of bands, at least they're not Mushroomhead. That is the one compliment I can give them.
Okay.
At least you're not Mushroomhead.
And at least their fans are not anti-maskers.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Don't even get me started on that.
They wear masks. It was that was all. That's all
I
I'm saying.
No.
They wear masks.
It was apropos. I could see the audience though, like when the Hollywood Undead fans in Alabama. I'm not wearing a mask, but your favorite band's wearing a mask. But But what? You just get my head blowing up. Okay. Thank you guys. That was a weird one, but I'll take it. As we move on, thank you guys again. 392 people. Keep sharing the link. Tell your friends.
Yes.
We are over 200. We are at 208.
audience.
We have 208 likes. So Crash will do an impression guaranteed on something. Don't know what it is.
Great.
But yes.
Fun.
As we go.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
people. We do appreciate it. So.
As we go over here and stop. Oh no, Crash!
Oh,
no! What you put out into the ether came up instantly, and I landed on
Damn it! Why did I open my big fat mouth?
Mushroomhead.
You prick! Whoever suggested that, you prick.
I'm not familiar, so I can't.
Oh, we can't! Oh, we can't do it!
What
Thank you, Crash. I saved you.
What a shame! What a darn tootin' shame!
Rats, Crash! We can't talk about Mushroomhead.
Darn!
We'll have to have an in-depth conversation off camera, I guess, and no one else will be able to hear it. Rats.
Oh, I'm sure. Positive.
As we move on. And stop. Okay. We've done this one before. I have to move on. And it was Goo Goo Dolls. I know we've done Goo Goo Dolls before.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
And stop. Huh. Here's another band versus band. I don't know how I feel about this one.
Okay.
Bastille versus AJR.
Oh.
Easy.
Oh, that's easy.
Easy.
It's easy.
Yeah, easy one for sure.
For Bastille, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah. I figured.
This really wasn't even that hard of a decision.
Not even hard. Yeah.
No.
Do we need to spend that much time on this one? Because I don't know if we
No.
Okay.
No.
Let's just talk about Bastille really quick. John, you gave the thumbs up. Bastille, just really quick.
Like, over AJR,
Yeah.
I mean, they sound like God, you know? Like,
Yeah.
A choir of
God
angels.
from heaven. It's like I've walked out of hell into a cathedral after listening through AJR. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Apropos.
Crash
But
Mark.
I don't even
Yeah.
really like Bastille. I made a video on bands that I can't get into. Bastille are on there.
Yeah.
So that should say something.
I'll take, just really quick, I'll take Tepid and background music. It kind of is grocery core-esque music for the grocery core overhead store for Bastille.
Grocery core.
But at the
I like
same
that.
time, I will gladly take that over The Click or Neo Theater any day of my life. So,
I mean, yeah. I'll actually chime in to say that Bastille, their first I think it's their first record, the one with Pompeii.
Bad Blood.
Bad Blood.
Yeah.
Bad Blood actually has some decent cuts on it. Like Laura Palmer's good. Things We Lost in the Fire is
That's
pretty
a good one.
decent. Like
Yeah.
that album has some, not just necessarily grocery core. Well, it is grocery core. I'll cop
It's
to it, but
grocery core.
it's good grocery core. I love that term.
it's
by
not
the way.
bad
That was the
grocery
first time
core.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a wonderful term. I'm going to have
I made a
I'm gonna have
video
to
on
type
grocery store songs last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. But they've at least had their moments. They've at least had a few songs that's like, oh, okay, they've at least justified their existence in places. AJR is just still terrible. It's so bad.
Have you guys
I
heard
don't-
Bummerland?
Oh, I don't think I've heard that one. That's their newest one,
Mark
right?
hasn't heard it because it's not on the charts yet.
Oh.
Yes.
He'll get it.
Mark,
He'll get it.
anything you'd like to add about Bastille?
I don't hate Bastille. I think I got the impression I hated
Yeah, I don't hate
Bastille because I gave their first album a 6 out of 10 because there's good songs on it, but there's a lot of forgettable.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's totally
6 out
fair.
of 10 sounds
And I
fair.
think
That sounds right to me, yeah. Mhm.
And their writing to me is the definition of pretentious. And trying
That's fair.
imply
It
a
became
lot more
that.
depth.
Yeah.
It became that.
White-walled misery to me.
Their second album is bad. Their third album is meh. To me, that does not approach what AJR has done.
Crimes against humanity.
Well, here's the thing. I was actually talking about this with folks in my Discord, and in terms, and I tweeted about this earlier today. So I'm not surprised AJR came up. The one thing I will say is that even though AJR has a certain thematic incomprehensibility, and I think the production sounds like trash, I think there's a way that AJR eventually could make okay music. It might not be for me, but I think eventually there are signs that something could work. And I don't hate that song they did with Rivers Cuomo, Sober Up. I don't hate it. Like
I kind of do.
I do.
It's
I
not
do. I hate it.
Rivers will play with anyone. I think that's what we learned.
it-
Rivers will play with anybody.
He worked with Simple Plan. Come on.
I will say that they have done worse than Sober Up, but I also do not like Sober Up either.
I would
There
agree
you
with
go.
that.
That's a nice way to put it. Nice way to put it.
But at the same time, like, I'm not going to defend AJR. Like, you've seen my videos.
Yeah.
They're some of the most viewed on my channel.
Oh,
But
yeah.
at the same time, I don't hate either band. I just think Bastille's better.
Okay.
I hate AJR.
So yeah, AJR dies in the Coliseum again. How do they die this time? Because now it's almost like an every other Rock Coliseum episode we have to kill AJR.
They have to face the drama.
Ha! Yeah, that's fair.
Or here's the thing. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have heard this news charting song called Cancelled. It's by a TikTok star called Lorray. It's currently on the Hot 100.
Okay.
It's all about YouTube beef.
Oh, the best kind.
Barf.
Yeah.
I don't like it already.
My favorite thing.
AJR has to make a well-researched rebuttal to that.
Response songs always suck too.
Yeah.
Responding to a diss track.
Ooh.
And it's AJR responding.
Are they going to be rapping?
John,
You
do
know,
not put that out
God,
into the universe. No, John.
AJR rapping on a diss track, and Rice Gum has to produce it.
Yeah.
Clenched at
We-
that.
Okay.
Type into Google, it's every night cis type beat.
I originally said Ronnie
Man.
Radke doing that cover of Gangsta's Paradise was the whitest thing I've ever seen. That might top it. Might.
Yeah. Yeah.
Featuring
Potential.
Chris Tomlin.
Why do you got to bring him into that? That's mean. That's just mean.
Singing
John,
the
John, you've cursed this video. Let's
Yeah.
move on to something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's-
400 over 400 people watching still. Thank you guys so much. Keep hitting the like button. We really truly do appreciate it. We got about time for 2 more before we go to halftime. Huge big thanks for us. Also, all the links for these 3 gentlemen are below in the description. Please subscribe to them. Check out their videos. We'll talk about that more later as we go to the next one. And stop. Oh, I love that you put this one, but it's not going to give the results you wanted, ma'am.
Oh no. Oh
I'm so glad.
Ma'am.
Is somebody's mother in the chat?
Ma'am.
I'm
what
sure-
did you do, ma'am?
Because I feel like this was a positive, polite, actual non-trolly, but it's gonna get weird.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for
Yes,
thank you
yes.
for contributing. We appreciate it.
Red,
You might have to kill your boy.
Red versus Skillet.
Easy answer for me.
Easy-ish for me, but like both of these bands. Oh, don't get me started.
I kind of need to refuse from this because I don't know Red that well.
You
we can
lucky
skip it if
bastard.
we need to.
We can skip it. We could totally skip it. I don't mind at all.
How about a quick thumbs up, thumbs down, then we move
Yes,
on.
that's a great way to do it. Okay,
Yeah.
for Red, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and for and for Skillet,
y'all-
1, 2, 3.
My thumbs up only comes with the caveat: fuck what their lead singer has been saying on Twitter lately. Dude, shut up. Shut up, dude.
Okay then. Well,
Okay.
Red dies, but I guess no one really wins, especially not us.
Yes.
So Mark wins on that one. Band is Mark
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, Mark, you are the only winner in this round.
Well, you say that. You say all that, but in terms of bad Christian adjacent music, I had to review the new Kevin Max album this year.
That's right.
I don't even know.
man.
I don't even know.
It was
that.
it was
I
an
know.
hour long.
Okay.
There was more spoken word.
Yeah.
Trying to
Oh, one
run
of
with
those.
Vaporwave.
Okay.
It is
Oh, man.
so bad. It makes you wonder whether or not he's back on drugs.
I don't even know who
Then-
Kevin
I don't
Max
either,
is. I'll
but
listen to
okay.
Eva Max.
I'll trust you.
He was in DC Talk, if y'all remember that.
Oh, they had posters for them on my Sunday school room walls.
Yeah, I was saying.
I was going to say, it
yeah.
sounded very Christian-esque. So,
Yeah.
as we go over
oh.
here, okay. This is a good one. It's good. This is going to be difficult, but I think I know the answer. Another band versus band. The Wonder Years versus Spanish love songs.
Oh, damn you, man.
I've got more
damn
of a
you.
sample size for one than the other, though.
I do too.
Yeah. Same,
I mean,
same, you know?
everyone does just by the longevity of each band compared.
Yeah.
But I have an answer.
I got an
I do
answer.
I do too.
Crash.
I do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, in the order they're read. The Wonder Years. 1, 2, 3.
This hurts.
Boom!
Hurts.
It's
All of
unanimous.
us.
Spanish
talking
love
to the
songs.
Coliseum. What have all of us said about
1, 2, 3. Spanish love
I figured-
songs. Yeah.
I figured one of you would step up for the Wonder Years. I really did. Oh,
See, the Wonder Years for me, like they are, like they
I
have
love
strong music.
They-
The
yeah.
writing, I keep hearing things about ghostwriting and stuff like that for them. I don't know. I'm not going to get into all that stuff too.
What?
I'm not going to even get into all that. The Wonder Years, I've always felt like they had good stuff to work with over time. I've never been blown away to the point of this is life-changing music like I did with Spanish love songs. That's me. That's me. Brave Faces Everyone is still
fair,
my favorite
fair.
album of 2020. I don't know about anyone
Yeah.
else. That's still my
I'll
number
tap
one.
in.
Yeah.
I'll tap in.
Okay, so
Um,
John, go ahead.
The Wonder Years, I do think, have made something that I felt was maybe not life changing, but life impacting.
Okay,
I
that's
thought
fair.
No Closer to Heaven and
Yep.
The Greatest Generation, both of those are, especially No Closer, so emotional. Like the catharsis and just the power that record has over you if you truly just pay attention to the lyrics and the feeling. I mean, Dan is such an incredible vocalist. I
Yeah.
think that they've made so much amazing material, but what Spanish love songs have showcased, especially just on their past 2 albums,
Yeah.
is life-changing. It's amazing.
I think it's
And,
just
yeah,
a
I
step
think
up. It's a
Yeah,
step up.
it's-
That's my thing.
you might see all of us
It's
with the
good.
same AOTY. Let's just say that.
It would just be us.
Well,
It's
no, I don't think so.
And
yeah.
that's not a discredit to say that 2020's had bad music. 2020's had a great
No.
music in it, but
No, yeah.
man.
Yeah,
So,
plenty of great stuff.
Mark, why don't you go ahead just for Spanish love songs?
It breaks my heart to do this because as much as I like the albums that John just mentioned, my favorite Wonder Years album is Suburbia, I've Given You All, and Now I'm Nothing. That was their 2011 album. I think
Yeah.
that gets slept on way too often. I think it's their best.
Mine was the one after
And-
that.
And that's Greatest Generation.
Yeah.
And I think they have 3 great albums. I like Sister Cities, the album
Same.
that nobody else likes.
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
I didn't hate it. It just wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fair.
it's not as good as
Yeah,
No
I would
Closer.
agree. I would agree. But the funny thing is, I can say all that, but I also think that Spanish love songs may have built on the foundation that the Wonder Years laid down.
Yeah.
And because
Yep.
there's a lot of similarities in the sound, you can tell that Schmaltz especially, and then building into Brave Faces Everyone, it's a progression. It's
Yeah.
a progression I love, and I will say that Brave Faces Everyone is my album of the year. I don't know what's going to challenge it.
I'm at the
as
same
of-
thing too. I don't know what it would be.
Kind
We're
of.
all there.
I have a few maybe, but yeah, strong contender.
Yeah.
Strong ass
fight-
contender.
It's fighting for, like, I've only given 4 perfect scores on my channel, and that's one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else I can say beyond that, outside of the fact that if Rustin Kelly actually winds up doing the Spanish love songs cover that he's been teasing,
What?
I might just go into emo overload and you won't see me for a month. Like,
Aw.
Same.
What song?
No, it's the same. I'm
Crash.
right there with you, Mark.
Crash, anything else you wanted to add for Spanish love songs?
Again, not much that you guys haven't already said. Again, it's a huge. Again, Brave Face is a big album of the year contender for me. Schmaltz is also a fucking banger. Like, I'm catching up to Spanish love songs. I came into them like super duper late. I'm only
So did
just
we.
now getting. Yeah. A lot. I feel like a lot of people did. But like, man, their career trajectory has just been rockets, just up, 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 and they've just been getting better and better and unbelievably better with each progressive album. Wonder Years, John, or Mark, I'm sorry, I know you liked it, I know you do, and you're welcome to your opinion, but I don't know, Sister Cities had its moment. Like like Wonder Years have had a bit more. Again, they've never put out like a full-blown stinker of an album.
That's what my
It's been
point
more
is, too.
Their debut
Yeah.
album would disagree.
I don't even
It's
know if I
no-
remember the
I don't
debut.
think it's it doesn't compare to everything else, that it's hard to compare that, but it has its charm. But it's been more of a well, again, they've also been around a little bit longer. They've they've also it's a fair comparison, but Spanish love songs is just like just amazing me with everything they put. I don't know what the hell I'm going to be so disappointed at their next record, because how the hell are they even going to talk?
I'm
how
kind
the
of
hell
the
are they
same
even
thing
going to
too.
top this?
Because
They
they're
got
sitting
more than
around.
enough to write about, though.
Yeah, and they're sitting around writing. They have a Patreon. They're sitting around making covers and writing stuff just for Patreon.
I'm on their
Oh,
Patreon.
yeah.
So am I.
actually.
So like they are working. They are working on stuff. All I know is, before we go to the death, Spanish Love Songs put that out in February, blew everyone away. 1 month later, we went into quarantine because everyone was just
And that
so
album is the
blown away. We
soundtrack
couldn't
to
go
it.
outside.
Oh
yeah.
my
Yeah.
god!
I mean, they made an album like that. It's like, well, the world has to catch up somehow. Let's just shut everyone at home for the next 9 months. So
I'm not saying they initiated the quarantine to promote their album,
but they
I'm just saying it would be very convenient if they did.
yeah.
no, they just wanted every excuse for us to go find beachfront property.
Then the Wonder
Although
Years
I will say is this: even if it's all of our 4 favorites, it would probably be Mike Seatown's favorite as well. Because when he did his mid-year videos, he put Spanish Love Songs as his favorite.
Nice.
Wow.
That's
Man,
awesome.
people, brave
Listen to
faces.
it. I don't
You know
wanna-
what? Brave faces every
If you have
pleasure. People, you're
I
hearing
think-
it from us.
Yeah, we're not going to give the Wonder Years a death because I just it's not it for me.
No. You know what? No.
Also-
this is a fair exception.
And before we go into halftime, I just want to say, I know this for a fact. This is the first time all 4 of us gave a perfect score to an album. That's never happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think we all gave it pretty much
We've
aces
never
across the
agreed
board.
that much in that positive of a manner.
What blows
Yeah.
my mind is that, like, it feels like it's us and a few other YouTube critics who know and have gone crazy over this. But you look outside of that, like, Pitchfork didn't even cover them.
I know,
No.
so many people don't know about it. That's the biggest
Yeah.
hindrance to Spanish Love Songs. They just don't know the name.
It's
So-
gonna be like the Get Up Kids, like, coming out of the late '90s. Like, once,
Yeah.
eventually, it's somebody. Like, when they eventually break mainstream, or people actually do the fine dissection of Midwestern emo of the late 2010s and early 2020s, they'll come back and say, "Oh shit, Spanish Love Songs! This was a cult classic." It'll be like a big star album from the '70s.
It deserves to be a real classic, but
We know, but
Yeah.
like,
We'll know. Yeah, I think that's how a lot of people feel about Jawbreaker from the 90s. You know?
yes, very much so. Sometimes it hurts to be right. It
Yeah.
really does, doesn't it, fellas?
Jawbreaker, Rites of Spring.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and I know Crash.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rites of Spring got so slept on. Yeah, that's
But it's sometimes when music's
You're-
ahead of its time, like.
it. Gets exactly.
Well, people
And I
didn't know what emo was yet. Like, because it was
You're
That's
right.
true.
No, yeah.
know?
The timing
Rites
of it all.
Spring- You can argue Rites of Spring helped invent emo. You know,
They
I
did.
mean, that's
And
like,
Sunny
yeah.
Day Real Estate and other
Yep.
bands that were coming
Sunny
out around
Day.
that time. Yeah.
Yeah, another. Yep.
I think it's a great time for halftime right now. It is like 1 hour in. This is pretty good. I don't think we're going to top the positive talk for Spanish Love Songs, so we could talk about them for another 15 minutes easily.
Easily.
The super chats are canceled, guys. We're going to talk about this for the next time. We're going to read the lyrics and cry together. We're just going to weep heavily together.
We're
would be-
losers
that-
forever.
Things will get better. Yeah, right.
Honestly,
be
like, could we possibly do anything more 2020 than that?
That's true.
No.
Man, if you guys
No,
are
we
looking
could
for a
not.
live stream next month, I'll just get on in November and just read the booklet and cry. And Gretchen will hand me Kleenexes.
John, there's your next Twitch idea.
Yeah.
There you go. Going live on Twitch. Try not to cry challenge.
Yes.
You'll get about upway through Generation Lost, and then you will break.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Kit will just have you like laid out.
So we're gonna take this quick, like 5 minutes or so, just to like recharge. I need to get something to drink because my voice is getting shot. I just want to
Same.
say this before we start to do the break. I know everyone outside of America is tired of hearing it from us Americans, but to everyone in America, if you haven't already, please vote. You have 6 days now.
Yes.
Do
Yep.
it,
please.
Less than a week, people, and like the way the mail is working and the way certain states are handling it, mail-in ballots are not a good idea right now.
Not
If you were
anymore.
wanting to mail in,
It's too late
probably
now.
too late.
Yeah.
So you'll want to show up in person.
Yeah.
You can either absentee at a local place if your state has early voting, or you can show up on election day like you normally would. Lines are likely to be crazy, but hey, Get out there,
bring
get
your
it done,
headphones, bring
make
a battery
plan.
charger, and just stand in line with everyone else because this is the one day to do it. You know what? Screw work, screw school. This is the one day you get to say that, and it's totally fine.
Yep.
As someone from who is outside of the United States, like I'm in Canada right now, we kind of narrowly avoided an election of our own, like about a week ago, which I'm very grateful for.
Yes.
I have had to watch so much shit down south the border.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of folks I really care about down south the border. Like, I remember going to the States like a weekend after Charlottesville in 2017, and I was in Atlanta and the deep south throughout a lot of it. Then I went to visit John, and it was nice. So we avoided all that crap. But my point is that if we want to actually make positive change that cascades to the world over, like rejoin the Paris Climate Agreement, like refocus on worldwide efforts to provide contraception across Africa, the World Health Organization, like to make sure like you don't walk away from that. There is global consequences of this that we are praying worldwide that we can get this done. Yeah. We don't have pointless trade wars. We don't have to deal with issues where I can't come to Canada to visit my friends.
Guys, that has killed us. That has killed us this year.
I was supposed to go to... You missed music festivals. I made a living off of those, and I can't even do that anymore. Yeah. I was supposed to go to Iceland for the first time this year, and I was going to shoot explosions in the sky in this gorgeous venue and tour the countryside, and I didn't get to because not enough people wore a mask because national mask mandates aren't a thing.
Yeah,
people go to Sweden and see Taylor Swift.
Oh, Swedish Taylor Swift. Ah.
And you know what? It would have been on her folklore tour, and that album was really fucking good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Well, I mean, it's easy. I mean, not just for our sakes, but everyone especially in America has been affected by all.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it is very important that you get out there and you help make the changes that can hopefully get us back on the right path.
Mm-hmm. And we've all voted, I believe, haven't we?
Yep. Yes. Got mine in. So, yeah, people. Yeah, it has never mattered more.
Yeah, so. And also that is one bright positivity thing before I go get some water, then we start the super chats. There have been so many more early voters this year than any other election.
So many.
Ever.
Ours like I can't even think of the word. It's so many times what it was the year before.
Right, that's huge.
And numbers are telling us that a lot of those votes are from the younger. Yeah, they're young. The young voters.
Yep.
Yeah, that them not showing up was kind of what cost us the last election.
Yep. Well, 18 to 34 didn't show.
And now they're showing up early and ready. So you know what?
Yep.
The kids are all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out in 6 days. We'll find out in 6 days.
We will
find out.
So.
We will.
Okay, I'm going to grab water really quick.
Again.
Be right back.
Yeah.
The same. Thank you for listening to our public service announcement.
All right, it's time for Mark and John's intermission show. Welcome back, everyone. Mark Grondin is my very special guest tonight. Mark, how are you?
I am doing just fine, John. How about you?
I'm great. So it looks like you've got a new lighting set up there, Mark. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
I do. For the first time in the whole production of this show, I'm choosing not to film from my couch. I understand that might be a little bit of a shakeup to all our viewers at home, and I do want to provide a certain level of consistency and reassurance. Make sure that things do not destabilize them that much. I will say that I've got my couch right here. Voltorb is right here and is still being very well cared for.
I've seen a lot of fan comments about Voltorb being slightly... Oh my god!
I leave for 5 minutes, not like 5 seconds, and this is what happens on my channel?
That genuinely scared the shit out of me. What the... I'm looking right at Mark on his...
chat.
Waluigi, what do you think of AJR?
I think that you are all wrong and mean to the AJR.
Are you Triumph the Insult Comic Dog or Waluigi? Which one are you?
Do you know what I am? I am your worst nightmare.
For me to poop on! Oh my gosh, I can't leave my channel unattended ever again.
Oh, and there's
I'm sorry,
Crash.
did anything happen
Crash!
while I was...
No,
Crash,
nothing.
are you okay? Are you okay, Crash?
I don't know, I just heard some weird noises, everything...
What is going on in Indiana?
Oh, believe me, you don't even want to know.
That's right, I don't want to know.
Someone said Crash is protesting Waluigi not appearing in Smash.
Oh.
It's not fair, damn it. It's not fair.
What would his finishing move be?
Tennis racket.
The...
Tennis.
Yeah.
His finishing move would be irrelevance, unfortunately.
Oh.
I have a friend of mine who will make a Waluigi fan cam just to spite you.
Waluigi finishing first in all of his races. And...
Well, I've seen the Wario fan cam, so.
Okay.
I saw the DJ Khaled one.
You guys ready for super chats?
Yes.
I don't know if I am, because they're gonna be.
Share the DJ Khaled one.
DJ Khaled fan cam versus
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's
versus trapped.
Oh my gosh.
John,
Fan cam.
But to break kayfabe for a minute, John, did I actually scare you with that? I'm
Yes.
sorry, dude.
I was looking over.
I
at
looked
Mark,
over the screen. I'm like, whoa, Crash, what are you doing?
and Mark says, "Look," he's like pointing, and I look over, and Waluigi's right there, and I'm like,
It wasn't me. It was Nintendo.
"Yeah, watch them take down this stream. I know they're pretty copyright heavy."
Oh my God!
You just said
between
Nintendo on-
Waluigi, dude.
Yeah.
Between Waluigi and Pikachu, we're screwed.
Thanks a lot,
no.
Crash.
Yeah.
You're gonna get my channel taken down now. Awesome.
Ooh. People, bring in those super chats. We're gonna need them.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently legal fees are going to be an issue here.
Hey, this is.
Oh, did you hear that? That's
Waluigi
Nintendo
Mon.
at my door right now. They're that fast.
They'll make you sign up for the Nintendo Partners Program if y'all know what that is.
Yeah, I do remember
Yeah.
about that. Okay, first super chat, guys. You ready? It's a doozy. Album versus
Alrighty.
album from Duffy Loner 64. Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park versus White Pony by Deftones.
Ooh. I haven't. This one's easy for me, but I know the rest of y'all. Oof.
It's not that easy for me, but I do have an answer.
Okay.
Mark and John? Yes? Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In order of red. Hybrid Theory. 1, 2, 3.
That's a
Interesting.
little surprising.
Okay. And
That
then
is
White Pony.
surprising.
And White Pony. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh, yeah, it's White Pony. People, it's White Pony.
John, that's the one for Hybrid Theory. Why Hybrid Theory?
It's one of the first albums I ever owned.
See, again, the nostalgia.
I get that. I get that.
I mean, I love White Pony. I discovered White Pony at a relatively young age, but it didn't hit me in those years, in my teenage years, like Hybrid Theory did. So it's an apples and oranges thing, but still slight edge Hybrid Theory.
This is an apples and oranges kind of comparison. It really
Kinda.
is, but yeah, I get it. I
Okay.
get it.
So, Crash, why don't you go next for White Pony?
Again, it's like it's White Pony, man. That is a tough battle to beat. But White Pony, I don't know. White Pony is such a creative endeavor. It is one of the few new metal albums of that era that was not only because that was also the era where the genre was starting to be defined, but that was I understand how important Hybrid Theory is to the genesis of new metal, but White Pony not only helped develop new metal in positive and very interesting directions, but it also was something completely different. It was something on its own terms. It was a great record that did its own thing. And man, there are just so many other new metal records. It feels weird. Probably shouldn't even call that album new metal or Deftones in general new metal. But it's like, if you want to have that argument, you can have it. But I feel like, it fits enough to be in that genre. They also transcended it so much. And White Pony was the first little branching out, the first little hint that, oh wow, these guys are capable of so much more than just some heavy hooks here and there. No, this band has depth, and that was
Mark, why White Pony?
The funny thing is that I actually don't love White Pony. Like in terms of Deftones albums, like it's not the one I would go to. I said this when I reviewed Ohms, which I was not really fond of the album, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
The thing is that even though I'm not really fond of White Pony, I like it a bit more than Hybrid Theory overall, if only because I think that White Pony's aged better.
Yes.
I think it's a little more lyrically consistent.
Yes.
And which does bug me with Linkin Park a little bit, especially on Hybrid Theory.
Yeah,
and overall, while I will say that Hybrid Theory is a lot more accessible than White Pony in terms of the hooks, in terms of the presentation,
for sure.
I will ultimately think that White Pony, to me, it was one of those albums that I'm not going to say transcended a genre, because I don't think that's fair. Because again, all genres are kind of they're marketing categories more than anything. They don't assign merit one way or the other.
Yeah,
but
very true.
It's one of those albums that, in comparison with the popular conception of nu metal, White Pony was one of those projects you could say, yeah, there's artistic merit here to the popular consciousness, and that has value.
Okay.
Yes. 100% agreed.
Yeah, I totally agree with a lot of points, and I love Hybrid Theory. I think most people that watch my channel know that. White Pony, though, is such on a higher level for so many different reasons. It did not rely on that mainstream hook writing format. Deftones, that was one of the first albums that really proved to me you can create your own melody, your own flow, make your own structure in many different songs while either being fierce and angry or as smooth and crisp, just blissfully just soft as possible, you know? When you go on the transition from Digital Bath to Elite, that is such a steep, hard transition, and they make it work. Yeah. On Hybrid Theory, I love it, but it's still not a front to back. I can listen to the entire thing and not go, I don't want to hear this song again. White Pony, I can do that just front to back, and that's the biggest thing for me. I love both. Chino, I hope, approves over there, hanging up. That's random that happened, but
and looking over your shoulder. I see why you had to give the thumbs.
Yeah. So
yes, Chino.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome, Mr. Moreno.
Yes. So unfortunately, Hybrid Theory does have to fall away into the Coliseum with a proper send-off and only kind words and remembered fondly.
Happy 20th anniversary to both albums. They both
Exactly.
Yes. Happy 20. Happy 20. Say.
Yep.
And I don't disagree with anything you guys
Oh yeah,
said,
and
by
I
the way.
won't disagree with any negative thing about Hybrid Theory.
Same.
So, yeah, it's that type of thing. So
yeah,
as we
An absolute lack of conflict here.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, I love both of those albums to death. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. So from another person, that's a name for YouTube commenter, Band-Maid.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only know like 5 songs. Is that enough to go off of to give?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Technically, yes.
You'd be all right. Yeah.
Okay.
Band-Maid. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's
They're
not
adorable.
It's
How
not
can you
the.
not?
It's not the cutest of the cutie Japanese punk rock, but at the same time, it's pretty adorable, and they got some fire behind them too.
They do. See, that's I mean, we can make jokes about Japan and cutie in their maid outfit, but at the end of the day, they can actually play.
They can play.
And they can actually
perform.
really slay pretty damn well, and they can perform live too. That live show is apparently really, really good. So yeah.
Okay.
Gimmicks aside, there's legit talent in there.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go with.
No, you're good. You're good. But Mark, John, anything?
The funny thing is, I'll say about Band-Maid is I actually find them. I've heard it more than one of their albums now, and the one thing I've started to notice about them is that they kind of have the problem a little bit.
Yeah. Totally. They do. Yeah.
As in, they are a band that has one sound.
Yes.
And they kind of repeat it over and over again.
Absolutely.
I really like them to switch up their sound a little bit more. Will show a little bit more variance. And you know what? If they want to lean into their gimmick, some of the softer sides balanced out with the heavier could be ideal for them. I just want to hear it. Because as of now, I like the sound. Their last album was kind of mid.
Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat as you. Yeah, I wasn't.
Love Bites falls into that category as well. All the talent in the world, but every album is very similar. So,
yeah,
John,
I get
for
it.
the 5 songs you did hear, John, anything you wanted to add?
I covered them because it was a Patreon request for like the social media tier that I do, where I'll do like a Twitter video talking about it, and they picked out 5 songs from one of their albums for me to listen through, and I generally did like it, but I could kind of already tell the problem, you know, like everything. I'm like, oh, it's good,
fair.
but it's like I get the gimmick, and you know, I get where this is going, and it's like it sounds good, but over time, like if I found myself listening to more of their albums, I feel like that would become more of a problem for me. But still, like the stuff that I heard, I mean, it was solid. It was enjoyable. It was fun.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I 100% get it, but they are definitely one of those bands where the problem isn't necessarily a problem because they are really good at their tricks.
Right. Like if you like the sound, then
yeah, they nail it. They absolutely. But I am also with you, Mark. If they wanted to expand, they totally could. I
agree with that too, because I just want more of what they can do, not more of what they already done. That's why I made the Love Bites comparison, because it's very much the same now. 3 albums, 4 albums, however it is. So
I agree.
I want them to get another producer.
Maybe that would be what they need. Another producer.
Just to flesh out a little bit their sound. I think they did a change on their last project. It felt a little canned to me in spots.
A little, but also that whole conversation becomes a whole different barrel of cats when we're talking about Japan too. That's true.
I agree there.
Yeah.
To say that's a much longer conversation to have, and I'm not even qualified to have it. So,
before we go to the next one, I just want to say we talked about Nintendo and being sued and stuff while John is wearing while John is wearing a Pikachu costume.
Did you get your summons? Oh no.
I'm using all their characters and properties. Crap.
Yeah.
From
every single one.
Yeah. From Devin Sterling, Alkaline Trio versus AFI.
Ooh. I got an answer.
I have an answer too.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, even though it's the same time frame, it's not the best verses, but at the same time, I get why.
I don't normally think about them in the same sense.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Alkaline Trio. 1, 2, 3.
It really?
Wow. I would have figured at least one of you would want Alkaline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
AFI. 1, 2, 3.
See, this surprises me.
Me too. I would have thought someone would have said something.
I thought I was going to be alone.
No, I figured. Well, I mean, y'all know I was going to vote
because
AFI,
I'm a Matt Skiba fan, big time. But
yeah, you're a huge Matt Skiba fan.
Yeah. Oh, dude, huge Alkaline Trio fan here too. Yeah. Big Sophie's Choice for me, but. Wow. Okay. All right. I'm interested to hear you guys have to say.
Crash. Crash. I think I want to hear you go first, just because you both set it up that way.
I mean, I love Alkaline Trio, people. Big Alkaline Trio fan here. Absolutely big time. But AFI, John, it's like you've mentioned a few times here and there. For me, there's the nostalgia factor. Yes. You know, I got into AFI kind of super early as a kid through their appearances on the Tony Hawk soundtrack, weirdly enough, originally. But then I went and bought Sing the Sorrow and December Underground, and I was completely hooked for life. I dug back into their earlier punk stuff. I feel like AFI, it was a Sophie's Choice for me because both of these bands are super good. But AFI, they've taken bolder risks. They've had, I feel like, better singles throughout their time. Yeah. You could argue, even though you'd be wrong in my opinion, but you still could argue that AFI or that Alkaline Trio gets a little samey in moments. Like, I've heard people tell me that Alkaline Trio has the problem, and I disagree, but if you're not as into them as someone like me is, I can get how you might not be able to, where it might not pop up like that. But people, Alkaline Trio have some must listen to records too. Like Good Morning is a must listen. Yeah. Fucking goddamn it. I'm not swearing. They have an album. God damn it. Yes. That's wonderful. Yeah,
I know.
I'm already demonetized all the Nintendo stuff. It's okay.
Yeah. But no, Alkaline Trio is 100% worth your time. But AFI have just had they've just had like that much bit of a bigger influence in my opinion.
Okay. So Mark or John, either of you guys want to go?
I'll go very quickly. Okay. I'm not huge into either band, I gotta be honest. Like, I just haven't had the time to do the full deep Discog dive. From what I've heard from both of them, I like AFI a little more. I think there's a little bit more diversity. Mm-hmm. I think the hooks are a bit stronger. I think overall it's got more of a color and flair I gravitate to a bit more. So I'm going with that.
Okay.
Totally fair.
John?
Yeah, I do think that the hooks of AFI, even though they've got maybe lower lows, I think the hooks that they staple in are so good, and they're wildly inconsistent, especially in their later years.
Oh yeah,
all over.
Yeah.
But Sing the Sorrow is a perfect score album for me. I love December Underground as well. I think that they really pulled off the changes quite well. And I do like Art of Drowning. I'm not crazy about some of the early punk stuff, but the All Hallows EP is amazing. There's so much good stuff in their discography. You just got to look in the right corners. And I'm saying that with love to Alkaline too.
Completely understandable. Yeah. All Hallows EP is a great thing to put on for.
Yeah, I got it on orange vinyl.
Yep. Oh, my man. Hell yeah.
Yes.
And I'll just be very quick. Again, I love Matt Skiba and what he does, but I do kind of feel when you go through all of Alkaline Trio's albums, you do kind of get lost in the mix a little bit after a while. You can't do that with AFI because they are all over the place, but their biggest moments are so capitalized with exclamation marks and big bombastic songs and just full albums that you can't ignore it.
And they have an album called Crash Love. Of course, Crash picked them.
True. That is true.
See, and the thing is, Crash Love is one of the albums but
where's my Luke Love album? Where's my Luke Love artist? Dang it.
Luke Love. Luke Love. John Love. Mark Love.
Mark Love. John Love.
As soon as I remember that came out soon after I graduated college. As soon as that album came out, every single one of my friends were like, "Crash, have you heard what they call AFI called?" Guys, I'm a bigger AFI fan than you are. Of course I know. I'm thrilled. Just why do you even have to ask? I want that little logo that's on the Crash Love album. I want that as a belt buckle. I'm sure
they could do that
so
now.
Cool as a belt buckle.
They could do that
guys,
now.
We got to get on this for his next birthday.
Christmas is coming up, everyone. Come on. So from I can never pronounce the name Dragame. I always mispronounce the name. I apologize.
Yep. Yeah.
Blue October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have to back out of this one. I'm not familiar enough.
Okay. That's fair. I can do this one for sure.
Okay. Mark and John?
Yeah.
Okay. Blue October. 1, 2, 3.
I had a feeling it might. I had like this.
Okay, so Mark, why the thumbs down?
I listened to Blue October a fair bit in the 2000s, mid to late 2000s. I heard their stuff. They've got a couple songs I think are okay, but I find them so goddamn tedious. They are one of those groups that they have a sound that I need to be in a very specific mood for, and more these days, they are just not hitting that niche for me. And when you're outside of that niche, I don't think the hooks are great. I don't think a lot of the production's all that good. They get drony, and I have and again some of the writing on those albums. I won't fault you that. I can't defend it. I can't.
Yeah. Let me tap in on this. All right. Blue October, I do agree with the drony, especially. That was a word I was thinking of. I think that they can kind of drone on and on is how it can feel with a lot of their full-length albums. And they've always been one of those bands that I have known, but I notoriously they're not important enough on my radar for me to be instantly checking out their releases. So I feel like just the fact that I love Foiled, that album, and some of that stuff, it's just kind of undeniable. I mean, Hate Me is a song that
the one I know.
For reasons I can't get into, have a very personal connection to. So there's I don't know. There's a lot of those moments that for me still give it a thumbs up. I'm not always checking out their stuff, but they have songs that really get the job done for me.
Okay. And then Crash?
Yeah, John, you already said it for me, man. Foiled. It's so hard to deny. That was the album of my college experience, particularly because I was a great big emo brat. But no, man, Foiled is so good. Into the Ocean. I'm just a normal boy who sank when I fell overboard.
Okay, guys, I don't want to get demonetized for that. Also, if you start singing it, jeez.
Oh yeah,
I do the whole thing with you, Crash.
Oh yeah, no. Foiled is a bop. World for Sale. I forget what that one's called, but the album prior to that is also very solid. But the thing is, though, Mark, your grievances with Blue October, with the writing and the production and a lot of the droniness, I can't even say you're wrong, because those are definite faults. Their production, especially the dude's writing. I don't know. Even I listen back to some of this, and I'm like, "Oh, Crash, you giant drama queen, dude, really?" but like. No, but again, the nostalgia overpowers it, and like the hooks and like just the song construction is like
hard on the sleeve.
So good. It's so good on Foiled, and they were never able to follow that album up. Foiled was definitely where they peaked, but I've checked in on them here and there. Their last 2 albums. The thing is, they went through kind of an interesting character arc in their later work, where our main man, our sad boy front man with his mascara and his sadness, those emo as fuck lyrics, he released a couple of albums here. Blue October, in their later years, they released a couple of albums that were much more sunnier, that were much more positive. And it's like, I don't know, I remember going back over those albums and like, I don't know if I should listen to these. This was like me when I was really emo. It's probably only gotten worse in like a decade, but I listened to those records and I was like, oh, dude got better. He got better. Oh, good for you, man.
Character development. We love
character development. We love an arc. We love an arc. And Blue October's career is taking a
I hope You're Happy was
arc.
a good song too.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah.
I think I know that one too, but I only know 2 songs. I saw them live and I still remember very little. I don't know if that really speaks to them as good or bad or not. So
they're interesting live. They are. I don't know.
They kind of take a different approach to live shows.
With all this junk, with all the junk they have on stage, with like the weird lighting and stuff, they got some weird stuff. Yeah,
and their frontman is also very animated on stage. Let's call it. He's
expressive.
I'm just a normal boy that sank when I fell overboard. Like he gets
my head is
as a photographer. That means he's hard to shoot. So
that's why Luke doesn't like them.
Exactly.
I get that.
Bias. That's why I backed out. I'm just biased. From Raven Kills 273, Butcher Babies. I have thoughts.
I have to exclude, actually.
That's fine.
I'm terribly familiar with this.
Okay. Butcher Babies. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Okay.
Interesting.
This is a rare ratio.
I know. Okay. Mark, why don't you go first? Why did they get the thumbs up?
To me, it's one of those bands where, from what I've heard on record, and I haven't heard a ton, my general impression is I'm listening to them and I'm like, okay, I get what you're doing. You're not all the way there yet, but I like the progression. I don't think the sound on its face is terrible, because I don't think there's like, I think the screaming needs work. I think they're one of those bands that's progressing in the right direction, but it's also one of those bands that I can kind of tell might not get there. So I have hopes, and I think they're okay, but I don't think they're great or anything.
Okay. I have heard 2 full Butcher Baby albums. These are 2 albums that I was asked to review, and I decided not to because I couldn't stand either of them. I just didn't want to waste my time. I have seen Butcher Babies live 3 times after their slut metal days, and that's what they called it themselves, where they would only wear electrical tape over their nipples and perform live that way. That was like in the 2010, 2011 days. This is a band trying to be like for shock rock and shock metal without being shocking. Their music is just... they have a killer guitarist, too. That's what kind of blows me away. He's a solid guitarist. These ladies, they can't sing. Their screaming is just the forced... You like that, ladies? That type of stuff. And it's just that live and on record. I remember they did some cover songs, too, and it's just laughably, miserably bad. They're going for the whole we are women in rock and metal. And there are so many great women in rock and metal that do it better than Butcher Babies by a long shot. A long shot. And that's what kills me, because there are so many other women that Butcher Babies have performed with, have toured with, that blow them out of the water. And Butcher Babies have a big fan base. But at the same time, when you look at their music on record, it's not the worst thing ever, but it's definitely not good in my opinion. And there's way better out there. And live, it's just all about high-fiving everyone and just jumping around without good music to really listen to. Scream as loud as you can for 25 minutes. Thank you. Good night.
I, again, not being familiar, I cannot speak to this, but I saw an interesting comment at Dragame. Again, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name there, dude. But he compared them to a female Five-Finger Death Punch.
Yeah,
How do y'all feel about that?
100%.
I disagree.
I wholeheartedly agree. They are a Monster Energy band. 100%.
Yeah, but they're not a Monster Energy band in the terms of the fact where Five-Finger Death Punch, they got slower and duller and, let's be honest, stupider.
Much stupider.
They're not as stupid as Five-Finger. I do agree with that. Yes.
Yeah, so, again, it's the sort of thing where I can't believe I'm sticking up for Butcher Babies because, if I'm putting them on the same page as women who are in metal and hard rock, like, say, the new Svalbard album, fucking incredible. And the front woman who sings there is insanely good in terms of like a screamo black metal variety. She sounds incredible. And Butcher Babies is not on that tier, but I also don't treat them as if they're on that tier. So it's the sort of thing where I'm like, you know what? If they're a Monster Energy band, and I would agree with that, I think they're very much in that tier. They play for, I'll be honest, a more simplistic approach. There's a way to do that well-ish, and I don't think they're terrible at it.
It's not even so much they're terrible. I just think they're all about gimmick and presence. They're just trying to be rock stars on stage. I would agree. They're just trying to get that attention, live on the road, be the center of attention, any means necessary, scream along with us, and that's it. I spent way too much time talking about Butcher Babies for my liking.
You know what? I would agree with you there. I would agree that there's a lot of that attention-seeking element. But at the same time, I'm not going to... there's a whole lot of other rock bands that I saw at Sonic Temple that I would call it for the exact same things.
Oh, yeah. I won't. They're not the only ones. You'll never hear me say that. Yeah.
There's a part of me... I got to be honest. After I saw Avatar at Sonic Temple, I'm like, that's a comparison.
The thing is, though, Avatar, I feel, is way more talented on their albums by a long shot. So.
Yeah, and it did not translate on
to
stage.
Okay, that I get. That I can at least understand why someone would think that. But on their albums, it's no comparison. So Butcher Babies do skate by. They have to get punished somehow. Barely. They're not allowed to scream on concerts anymore and see if they can still keep everyone's attention.
Okay.
That feels like a good punishment. Yeah. Okay. As we go to the next one from Kevin Wiley, this is how it's labeled. Battle of the Pre-Sellouts. Nickelback's The State versus Imagine Dragons' Night Visions.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Easy.
Easy for me.
It's pretty easy.
Okay. In order, Nickelback's The State. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm not high enough.
Really?
No, I was high too. I didn't have my thumb high enough. Sorry. So I'm 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, The State. And Night Visions. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Maybe a little surprising coming out of me, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so John and Crash, since you guys didn't get to talk, we'll let you guys go first. John, why does Nickelback's The State get the thumbs up?
Well, I do have a bit of an affinity for early Nickelback, and even like Mark, I know he likes some of their later material too. We could agree on that. I don't hate Nickelback in the way that most people do, and I think The State and even Silver Side Up have a lot of really strong moments that I can go back to, maybe for nostalgic reasons, but also some of it I think is legitimately solid. Imagine Dragons, I recently just did an episode of I Got It Wrong on that album.
Oh, yeah.
And I went back to it, and I was just kind of alarmed at how poorly the production holds up, and just some of the lyrics walk in circles. They just kind of spout cliches, and I know Nickelback do that to an extent, but it's not as in your face and blatant and obvious as when Imagine Dragons make their ploy to the trend that they were chasing, or the crowd that they were hoping to hit with a certain song, and they genre hop so much on that album. It's ridiculous.
Okay, Crash, why does Imagine Dragons get the thumbs up on that one for Night Visions?
Again, not an unfair comparison when it comes to the Imagine Dragons album. I get where you're coming from there. And again, I'm one of those people, The State is maybe arguably Nickelback's best album, as depressing as that kind of sounds, but it's one of their only it's one of the only albums I tolerate from them, if I'm just being totally honest. Again, part of that may just be nostalgia. I don't like Nickelback, guys. I'm sorry. I am just one of those people you're not going to convince. But you know, even then, even though I can argue the state, you know, it has its merits. But like, I don't know. Imagine Dragons, that album. Well, like the state didn't have those big moments on it. The state was just kind of a passable kind of 7 out of 10-ish, just kind of, okay, this is a solid. I remember even back then listening to the state and thinking, oh, this band might have potential if they, you know, if they change some things up, you know, they might be okay. But this is not like my favorite record or anything. Okay. And like Imagine Dragons, I at least get it. Like they at least showed up, made a big impression. Yeah, they were chasing trends, but they caught that trend and then they bent it for the last few, almost a decade.
For the money, just say it. For the money. For the money.
I wish they hadn't bent it as hard as they did, but you know, I can argue that there were some, like, that album at least has memorable moments. That album at least has some songs even I can't, you know, I'm definitely not the biggest Imagine Dragons fan, but even I can't deny some of those songs are outright good. I like, you know, it would be hard for me to talk those particular tracks down. With The State, it's like, oh, it's fine. It's okay. But like, I don't know. I would not go out on any kind of limb for The State, but I wouldn't go out for Nickelback at the best of days. I'm sorry.
Mark, why don't you go ahead? Why does Imagine Dragons get the thumbs up?
Okay, I'm going to say something that's very much heresy here. As much as people like to highlight the Nickelback as pre-sellout, like with that initial project,
yeah,
I'm going to say something contrary. I think on their later projects, they actually found a pop focus and wrote hooks that people remember. Like as much as The State is fine, if The State dropped and Nickelback put out nothing else, nobody would know or care about that band years later. I mean, as much as Nickelback has had deep lows, they've also had albums I'll defend. At the same time, though, if we're comparing The State to Night Visions, John, you're absolutely right. Night Visions, the production is dated like hell. Alex the Kid did terrible damage to early 2010s production. So I blame him for so many of the reasons why Eminem's Recovery sounds like today. And I think he is the worst part of that. And I think absolutely Imagine Dragons got worse.
Yes.
That said, Night Visions has better hooks. Radioactive, I still really like. Its Time is still a really good song. I'm on Top of the World is goofy as hell, but I still like it.
It's fun.
I like it's fun.
I worked at a movie theater and had to see that in the credits of like Rio or one of those kids' movies. Every time I went in to clean that theater, I hate that song.
They're a big movie soundtrack band, though, to be fair.
Yes, every soundtrack, they'll hop on it. Anything is available. We'll throw in original song at it.
My favorite Imagine Dragons song is on that album, and that's Bleeding Out.
That's a great song.
With the weird, like, shuffling groove and the weird things that song goes through. I'm like, this is kind of cool. I wish this band did more things like that. Of course they never did, but
no, of course not.
But at the same time, I'm not gonna crap on an album that did this much to change the sound and ultimately was pretty damn good in comparison with an album that was fine. It was forgettable.
Yep.
And ultimately, I think Nickelback as a band may have gotten better after The State. Like they sold out harder, but they developed more interesting elements of their songcraft.
That is 100. I will agree with you 100%. Nickelback, say whatever you want to about them. After The State, they did get more interesting.
And I will kind of disagree
in both
that
good
sense,
and bad ways.
And I will disagree with that sense. But even so, I'll go back to just the albums, The State versus Imagine Dragons. I would say The State is overall a better composed album pre-format. Nicola, pre-formula, radio rock, trying to copy all the hooks, try to get the radio rock verse down, and actually just make their own music. From Leader of Men and Breathe, songs like that actually prove they could do different styles that they were capable of and doing them very well. I do get the logic and the idea that they would not have been nearly as popular or successful after The State, if nothing else came out after that. But at the same time, The State as an album, I would still put over Night Visions, simply because Night Visions had a couple good songs on it also. But man, just like you guys said, it's so dated. This is 2012 in a time capsule to the point of parody. Like when people in 2020 now, like what did 2012 sound like? Imagine Dragons. And it's like, that's it. So that's why I would say The State. And I'll just leave it at that. So.
See, I could. Oh, I hate to shoot you down, but for Nickel,
you cut out.
Same thing. Well, what did 1999's sound like?
1999 sounded like Limp Bizkit.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah, touche.
And I like how 2012 sounded like in pop. Like in general, if you go back through what was charting in those years, 2012 was on average a better year. And I can say Imagine Dragons helped contribute to 2012 and 2013.
I will listen to Call Me Maybe and We Are Young over that any day, though.
Yeah.
Like that type of...
Not fair.
Not fair. But
Carly Rae Jepsen does not deserve to be thrown in with these two. Come on now. Come on.
Hey, it's Call Me Maybe, though, to be fair. It's pre-emotion Carly. Which I know there's an argument for that, but...
Okay, ultimately we're talking about Canadian Queen versus Nickelback, who are also Canadian.
Canadian Queens as well.
Oh.
No. No, the thing is...
I'm not even Canadian in that hurt.
That's sung a little.
Let's go. You know what? Let's keep it to 30 seconds each, so that way we keep this going, because I don't know if we're going to talk top Nickelback versus Imagine Dragons. From Mega Karibo, Nightwish.
Oh, okay.
I don't know enough.
Don't know if that's fine.
To be honest.
Crash?
I can do this.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not an expert necessarily, but I can do this.
Gotcha. 1, 2, 3.
Like overall, yeah.
Regardless of the singer, the generation, I would still give the thumbs up on each generation. So.
Oh, I will challenge that in a heartbeat.
I would still give the thumbs up. They're not all great, but I would still give the thumbs up.
30 seconds, Mark.
Okay, I cannot say more than 30 seconds. I think the Annette era is ultimately the best era in terms of balancing out the creativity of the band. And I think Imaginarium was one of the best albums of the 2010s. So
that grew with it. That's the one that grew on me the more I heard it. So that's the one I always sticks out.
So good.
So who was the singer after that? After Imaginarium area?
Floor Jansen.
Floor.
I think she's
great. I think that's my bias.
She's a beautiful singer. She's a beautiful singer. I think she's more approachable than Tario was, but I think the issue is that the production does not help her at all. No, put her on an Arion album, she sounds amazing.
That I get too, but I still don't think it's bad though. That's my thing. So
I think my big issue with
it should be better.
It should be better.
Okay, that's fair.
I think the big issue with modern day Nightwish albums is that Marco doesn't shout to provide the contrast with his rougher vocals.
I don't know if he can.
Like he is very, and that's the thing. Yeah. I think Nightwish is kind of a little past their prime.
So.
Past their prime, yeah.
Which sucks because like I would put them on the same tiers with Them Temptation, and with Them Temptation might be passing them.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, as of now, yeah, because Sharon Danadell is still going strong.
Oh, she's an incredible singer. Like,
yeah.
And apparently, you interview her. She's nice.
She's great. She's a lot of fun. She works out to The Offspring. She works out to Pretty Fly for a White Guy on her playlist. I'm like, that is hilarious.
Okay, you had me with, she works out to The Offspring.
No, she works out to Pretty Fly for a White Guy. She works out to
Pretty Fly for a
Yes. Right? So
that's queen shit.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, from Brandon Barenfeld, Toad the Wet Sprocket, going back to the 90s again.
Defer. Don't know him well enough.
I know one song. I don't think that's enough for me. Crash?
See, I can do this, but I'm also not an expert by any means.
Crash or solo on this one then, because I know like one song.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3.
The lightest possible I can give them.
Toad the Wet Sprocket survives.
Yay, good for them. What is it? All I Want. It's a bop. Okay. Absolute wonderful little piece of early 90s kind of soft rocky kind of nostalgia. Great. The rest of their catalog doesn't match up. They are totally a one-hit wonder band. They are kind of a pretty bland band, honestly. I've tried to give them the deeper haul because it sounds like something I would be so into. I love weird little 90s bands like that. I'm a big like Crowded House fan and a big like other acts like that. Kind of slipped under the radar.
Super alternative bands, yeah.
Yeah, the super alternative. Especially these days, kind of lately, the older I get, as much as I hate to admit it, the more I get into that stuff. But yeah, I've tried Toad the Wet Sprocket on, and yeah, all I want is about as good as it gets.
Okay.
Crash, have you had the Dinosaur Jr. phase yet?
I'm getting there.
Oh man.
When you get there, it's going to be a wonderful conversation. We're going to have so much
there you
fun.
go.
Yep. and then I will officially be old.
No.
And it will be and I'll be glad. I'll be happy. I'm not putting that down, but it's like, yeah,
you know.
I know.
What's the creeper?
Of course.
What's the line from the latest Creeper album? I'm 30 now. I should have thought this through. Does that apply? Is that what he was talking? Is that what he was talking about? Just listening to Dinosaur Pile Up. It's like, oh man, what am I doing?
Dinosaur Jr.
Dinosaur Jr. Not Dinosaur Pile Up. I know the 90s is Dinosaur Jr. Current is Dinosaur Pile Up. You're right. Yeah.
The thing where you know is when, because Dinosaur Jr. have this wonderful cover of Just Like Heaven by The Cure. Mm-hmm. You know you've crossed the line when you like that version more than the original.
Ooh. I do.
I don't.
I'm not quite there yet, but I could see it happening.
Fair enough. From Goku-san DBZ, The Beatles versus Led Zeppelin. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Apples and oranges, really?
Yes. But I would wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Beatles. 1, 2, 3.
Dude, it's the Beatles.
Yeah.
It's the Beatles.
White Album, Abbey Road. I mean, you can love Led Zeppelin, but come on now.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
there's so many. There's so many.
Yes.
Revolver, Rubber Soul. Like, there's so many. Like that.
Dude.
Yeah.
Just hardly even compares. You know, I mean, how much did Led Zeppelin take from the Beatles themselves?
That's very true.
Led Zeppelin 4 and after.
Yeah.
So from sorry, I just tapped out. Okay, from That Guy I Don't Like. That's the YouTube name. I'm not just making that up. That's what it says. That Guy I Don't Like. Semisonic.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hell yeah.
Mark, you can't factor in how much you sing them at karaoke.
They are more than closing time. They are more than closing time.
They are so much more than closing
guys.
time.
They
Getting
were
Grip on Yourself is a classic song.
Yes.
Even that All About Chemistry, the album that came out later.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we were all about to say the same thing. People, it's so good.
Okay, Crash, you need to know something.
You cut out
your audio cut out that last full sentence, like perfectly censored, so it just sounds like you just let his most profanity-ridden sentence against Semisonic is what it sounded
You said,
like.
I'm about to say, and then it cut out right after
Oh
say.
my god, I'm sorry. No, oh my god, no. People, oh shit. What I said was we were all about to say the same thing. All About Chemistry is a hidden gem.
It is,
right?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, people, go dig that up. That's a fucking pop.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: Dan Wilson's actually looking to revive some elements of Semisonic coming out this year. I think this year or early next year.
Ooh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I heard some buzz about that. And I'm like, yes, please. Like, Dan Wilson's been writing songs forever, like behind the scenes, and if he's gonna revive Semisonic, I'm like, yeah.
Didn't he work with Adele?
Okay.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He worked with Adele.
He did.
Yeah.
I think he wrote.
He's
some
been writing
big hits.
He's been writing like not producing, but like just working as like a teams of other people for quite a while, for like the last 10, 15 years. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Co-wrote something like you, or someone like you.
Someone
Yeah,
like
there
you.
we go.
Yep,
Co-writing,
yep. That was the one. Yeah, I was like,
Great song.
Yeah.
from Red Vince, Slipknot's Iowa versus Slipknot's We Are Not Your Kind.
Ooh. Okay.
Hard.
You guys got answers?
Do this. I can do
I
this.
think I got an answer.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the right answer, but I have one.
Oh, we'll all be wrong no matter what. From
I was about to say, there's no
Yeah.
right answer here, Crash. None of us win.
So
yeah, for real.
Iowa. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'm not alone. Okay, I feel better.
We Are Not Your Kind. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Really quick, I'll keep this as quick as possible. When I listen to We're Not Your Kind, there's not 1 second of this where I feel like, oh, that makes me feel a little awkward. And I know that's what Slipknot goes for every now and then. Iowa has a few of those moments.
Oh yeah,
touche.
That's my only argument, and that's really it. You're not going to hear me say anything negative else about Iowa, though. So, John, why We're Not Your Kind over Iowa?
No skips on We Are Not Your Kind.
I would agree.
And there's a few that I
and there's even like
over
and there's a couple
Iowa.
like not interludes, but like really solemn moments. You still don't feel like skipping them. That's how I was though.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Insert Coin's their best song.
Yeah. Mark. Insert coin. Mark, why Iowa?
Not a Slipknot fan, I will say that.
Okay.
That being said, Iowa is their best album, and for all the awkward moments that Luke just described, I think that is the reason why. I think all those awkward moments is what makes Iowa so gripping as it is.
It's gripping. It is gripping.
Yes.
It's not 1 second of it's boring or anything like that, but like so
not one bit.
Yeah. And
I can summarize my thoughts in 4 words. It goes so hard. It goes so hard. It just...
You're full of a lot of quotes. What was the first one you said earlier tonight? Like, I'm the comfiest boy, and then it goes so hard. Eek.
I'm the comfiest boy and it goes so hard.
Coziest boy.
Can we get sound bites so I can add these to my podcast weekly, people? I just let me know.
Y'all just inadvertently wrote my OnlyFans bio, and I hate you for it.
Crash, do you want the money or not, Crash? Let's be honest.
Touche. I need that money.
Okay.
I need that money.
From Carrie D, singer-songwriter duos, Elton John and Bernie Taupin versus Meatloaf and Jimm Steiman.
Oh, easy.
Not
Easy
fair.
for me.
Not fair.
I agree.
Okay.
Elton John, 1, 2, 3.
I'm sorry. I just
Really?
yes, Bat Out of Hell is a classic, but
And then Meatloaf, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so why Meatloaf, Mark?
Bat Out of Hell is a classic album. Bat Out of 2 is a near classic album. And as much as Meatloaf, go fuck off. Like the guy is insufferable at this point of his career.
Absolutely.
And Elton John is on a different level. There's too much that's formative with me with regards to Bat Out of Hell that I can really disregard it. And Jimm Steiman is what made Meatloaf work as a pretty long-running Meatloaf fan. In terms of someone who can stand up for parts of 80s Meatloaf. Like,
wow, for real.
Yeah, I've heard Dead Ringer for Love. Like, there is some good stuff there that I will stand up for. Not Midnight in the Lost and Found. That album sucks. But
that was the one I thought.
Yeah.
No, I'll stand up for Dead Ringer for Love because that has Cher on it and she's awesome. But at the same time, I get it. I know I'm alone in this, and I know Elton John has more classics. It's a personal thing for me.
Totally fair. Totally fair. And even I'm with you. Bat Out of Hell's volumes 1 and 2. Hard to deny. Very hard to deny.
John, any thoughts on why Elton John get the thumbs up?
Name a more iconic duo. I dare you. Then sing it. No, sing. How often do you think about an artist and his go-to lyricist? I mean, how often do you think about that? And maybe it's just because I am a major fan of the biopic that came out, Rocket Man, last year. I've watched it like 3 times. So good.
They're not going to make one out of
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Even bigger.
They're not going to make a biopic out of Meatloaf. Nope.
They tried. They actually did. That exists.
Really?
Is there GoFundMe for it?
It's a VH1 straight to VH1 movie from like 2000.
That doesn't
it's
count.
Fucking terrible.
No, that doesn't count.
It's a garbage. If you need a really obscure thing for a bad movie night,
is that our riffing?
Garbage fire. It's hilarious.
Are we gonna have like a Rock Coliseum riffing, like Mystery Science Theater 3000? Of just watching that. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, one of the funniest things. The movie's big climax is Meatloaf griping and complaining because he doesn't get to accept his Grammy on camera because, they wanted the Grammys that year wanted to focus on more female artists. So the whole climax of the movie is Meatloaf didn't get treated fair because of feminism. It's a train wreck. It is a train wreck that sucks and it's terrible. And I recommend all of you watch it because it's so bad. It's
honestly
so bad.
a Meatloaf movie should be directed by the Coen brothers, and he should not.
And it gets weird and violent. Yeah, that could actually work. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I've read about his history in the 70s. He lived rough.
He did.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Fair enough. So Meatloaf does die in the Coliseum.
He has to do the one thing that he won't do for love.
That.
He has to go back on The Apprentice.
Hey, if he gets out of office, he might be trying to do that again from Canada because he's going to flee this country. You know he is. And guess where he's going, Mark? Guess where he's going?
Oh
no!
No way! No. Canada will send him right back.
Where else is he going to go? Where else is he going to go?
Russia.
Dude,
Russia.
No, that's true. That is true.
Russia.
They have a house for him already. So
dude, Putin's already prepping the guest bedroom. What do you want to bet?
Okay,
What do you mean?
You mean the doghouse? Yeah, the actual doghouse. The little kennel in his bedroom. Yeah.
Too bad he's all revved up, nowhere to go.
Yeah. From Giovanni Alvarez, this is Rage Against the Machine versus Backwordz.
Backwordz.
Can we veto that?
Sure. I don't even know who Backwordz is.
Backwordz is a band you need to veto.
Is that super right wing crappy band that came out a couple years ago?
They're that super right wing. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll veto.
Veto that. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Don't know them anyways.
You're very lucky.
I've heard the name, and that's about it. I don't know if I've heard one song.
That project is so badly paced.
It's so bad.
From
let's veto it.
Sure. From Jacob McEachen, sorry if I'm botching the last name, I apologize. Let Live versus Alex is on Fire.
Alexis on Fire.
Alexis on Fire.
Not fair, damn it.
You can tell how well I know Alex is on fire.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll have to veto and stay out because I don't know the other one. But
I was on fire.
I mean, I have to vote Alexis is on fire too. But damn it, Let Live. You're breaking my heart, Smalls.
I'm too Canadian. It's Alexis on Fire.
Fair enough. What would I check out for Alexis on Fire if you had a recommendation?
Oh, dude.
You only get one. You only get one. That's it. That's all I'm going to check out.
Mark, what is that one album?
I have a friend of mine. She's way into that band more than I am.
I'm gonna write it down.
The album with the skull hands.
Hands?
Shit, what is it called?
Okay, if it has skull hands, I can at least look that up, like on an image or something. That's easy enough to do. Okay,
hang on, I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, while you do that, I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna go to the next one. Okay, that makes sense.
Is it Crisis?
No, it's although that is a great album.
Watch Out.
It's Watch Out. Watch Out or Crisis. Okay. Either Watch Out or Crisis.
I could write both of those down. That's fine. Thank you. See, that's my homework for tonight. That's a good one.
No, Alexis on Fire was huge in Canada. Like same thing with Billy Talent. Like we had a couple.
Billy Talent.
Billy Talent's great.
Hell yeah,
absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, both of those bands deserve to get way bigger over here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. What happened?
From Chris,
fucking American.
America has From Chris Doman, thank you, scientist Terraformer versus Tool's Fear Inoculum, 2019 albums.
I don't know the first one.
Thank you, scientist. Okay, I do. I'll be very quick, so we'll go in order. Thank you, scientist Terraformer. 1, 2, 3. Okay,
I get it.
And then Tool Fear Inoculum. 1, 2, 3.
Even though I wasn't involved, I just
fair enough. You know, even I'm like, because Terraformer is definitely on me more. I'd say it's a lot close. Well, the thing is, both of those records showed up on my best of 2019 list. I want to say, best of 20. Both of those records showed up, and I will say, Fear Inoculum slipped a little bit down over the past year, and that album's come a little bit up for me. But I'd still barely put Fear Inoculum over there, man.
Fun fact: both albums are 5 hours long.
They are really long. Both of them are really big.
Very big
long.
And I like long albums.
I
like long albums. Yeah. These are long albums.
These are long
but Terraformer is more consistently interesting over those hours.
I don't know. Even
with Fear Inoculum ending with Tempest.
I
I think Tempest is the best song on the album.
Yeah.
But I think Terraformer is the better album as a whole in terms of prog metal.
See, okay, I get the logic behind that. I could see that argument. Though Tempest is it won the Grammy for best metal song, but at the same time, I'm such a sucker for Invincible and Descending and other things like that.
Man.
That's why I bump up Terraformer.
Same.
So that's me.
Yeah, same.
I get the argument. I wouldn't begrudge anyone for loving Terraformer. They're a
not
talented
at
band.
all.
They are a talented band. You can't knock that one. So
here's the thing, people. If you hated Therefore, that's the album you want to check out instead, because that'll work for you. If you need an album with a long sit, that's the one. Like if one of those two doesn't do it for you, you probably just aren't very much into prog, and that's okay.
Yeah. No, in the meantime, you put on Moron, please.
Touche.
That's your and Crash's answer for everything.
Mm-hmm. And we're not wrong.
It was a good album, dude.
I listened to it too. I really loved it.
They did a Kickstarter for the vinyl, and I'm getting that vinyl.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Good for you, dude. Good for you. Hell yeah.
From Amaranth Zinzani, hey, Cancer Bats versus Stick to Your Guns.
I'm going to recuse myself.
I don't know enough about
Same.
Cancer Bats.
Same.
I can do this.
Okay. Cancer Bats or Stick to Your Guns?
Cancer Bats for me. Stick to Your Guns are fine, but they can be a little formulaic. Okay. You know, they kind of have one thing. They've never really deviated from it too much. Cancer Bats have gone in some very weird directions, and they've really knocked it out of the park. They have a great cover of the Beastie Boys' Sabotage I recommend you check out. Good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Good stuff.
From as we are past 10 o'clock. Thank you guys for staying so late. I know I'm just kind of lost. We'll do a few more of these super fast. We'll just give the thumbs up and thumbs down because I know I'm keeping you guys really long. We still have over 350 people watching. I can't even imagine what the stats are on this now. Thank you guys again. If we get to 300 thumbs up, Crash will do some weird impression that we think of off the top of our heads. We're only 25 away. So
you still owe us one, Crash.
I still owe you. Well, I'll do 2 if we get to 300 because we never did.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be telling you. But
wow.
Crash, Crash, I will take one for the team here.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you. Oh, so get us up to 300 people.
Yeah.
Get Mark one. Yeah. Oh, I want to see that. Get us up to.
I do too.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like. Do it. Come on.
Like Spike.
From 5590ers 5590 ERS. Boy, that's a name. Sammy Hagar, Aaron Van Halen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit of a spoiler for me, but okay.
We'll talk. I'll give you time to talk about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It may not have been David Lee Roth, but it was still good. That's
still
mine.
good.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff in that catalog. Not worth shunning.
Yeah. So
hey, 300 likes.
do you have a good David Lee Roth impression, Crash? Just lots of
his.
Keep
so
it
hard to
keep it somewhat PG-13 because he has a mouth on him.
Do you want me to do it like right now, or do we want to go?
Yeah, we'll do a few more.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, about to say we need to the people paid, so we want to focus on them first.
Yes, that's very true. Good job. Good job. Yeah. As we go
Good
back,
diversion, Crash.
Yeah.
I'm sneaky.
Another one from Amaranth and Zanny. It just popped up. The Nexus of Amaranth versus Bringer of Pain by Battle Beast.
Also recusing myself. I didn't hear that Amaranth album.
I heard the Amaranth.
I got to step back.
I can't remember if I've heard it or not, so I think I need to recuse.
Bringer of Pain.
I'll give that a little thumbs up, but only, okay.
Amaranth, I'll just be really quick. I don't know if we talked about Amaranth on here. My opinion has soured over time on Amaranth, the band. Yeah. So I think that's me putting it politely.
Same. Their last few albums were very disappointing. I had to review that new one in the last Fimi I did. I was not worth really going on. As we go back, we'll only do a few more, guys. Let's do 5 more, and then we'll have to get the rest on the document because we can't keep going all night, unfortunately. From Ojama Obama, there's a name. Wow.
Silverchair versus Bush.
Ooh, interesting. Interesting little couplet there.
Okay.
I know, Mark. I know.
Do you guys have answers?
I know.
Yeah.
You and I know. We know.
Okay.
I know, but yeah.
Okay. Silverchair. 1, 2, 3.
Really?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
behind
okay,
a
okay.
second,
I was
sorry.
like, oh, okay, yeah.
I'm a thumbs up too for Silverchair.
Yeah.
And then Bush. 1, 2, 3.
Everyone's stuck defending Bush.
I so don't envy you.
Breathe
there, Mark.
in.
I'm so
breathe
sorry.
out. Breathe in. Breathe. Okay, Mark. If you
Hey, Mark, don't let a day go by.
I don't know. I gotta be honest. I don't know enough Silverchair to speak effectively on that. I do know Bush. I'm not a big Bush fan at all. They were. I put them in the same category as Candlebox. Honestly,
It's fair. Totally fair.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
as in they get grouped in a similar conversation for me. They were not my thing, but you know what? Like, as much as we all like to bag on Glycerin, like, it's one of those songs that if you get at the right time and you want to slow dance at like the goth club or the alt club, it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see that.
Fair enough. Anyone want to like swing for Silverchair?
Totally
I
speaking
ca-
from experience, sir.
I will, because the thing with Silverchair is, for one thing, they made their debut album when
15,
17 years old. Yeah. Yeah, they made that when they were just teenagers. They're also another Australian act, and Australia just does not get enough love. There's a lot of good stuff coming out of Australia. Silverchair, they were way better than they had any right to be. And like, you know, they had an interesting career. Their career took a lot of very interesting turns. Their album in 2000, Neon Ballroom is
was
way
the one.
better.
I'll make it up to you
Way
in the year
be-
2000. That big song that came out. Yeah.
Well, like they even some of their lesser celebrated stuff, like Modern Era. Like, I don't know, they were a band that never really had a full blown stinker.
Mm-hmm.
Some people argue freak, but I don't know. It's got charm to it. You know, a lot of people like to think of them as Silverchair, but give their catalog a spin sometime. I think it'll
They
surprise
evolved
you.
a lot, honestly.
Yeah,
Because,
they did. They honestly did.
John,
Yeah,
any thoughts really quick?
I mean, not really. I mean, like, I'm not like a huge fan or anything, but I do appreciate their evolution. And I got into them at a very weird time with the song "Straight Lines," which was coming in.
That was later,
but it's a great song, and it got me curious.
Good song. Yeah,
So,
for sure. Yeah.
So Bush has to die in the Coliseum. Gwen Stefani leaves Gavin again.
Again?
Yeah.
Gwen
She
Stefani
actually-
is engaged with Blake Shelton.
Oh, that's
Gavin
punishment
Rossdale
enough,
has
yeah.
lost.
There you
enough.
go.
That's enough.
He
then,
has
yeah.
to host The Voice alongside Blake Shelton.
Oh no!
with Gwen Stefani sitting in Blake's lap.
And no one ever
like, on the
joins his
cha- on
team.
the chair, like she's sitting on his lap on the chair the entire show. Oh,
But
we
no one
said-
ever joins Gavin's team.
yeah.
I'm not even a Bush fan, and I think that's cruel. Oof.
Mean.
That's a little mean. That's a little.
Oh.
Let's try and knock out a few more here.
Yeah.
Okay, we got 3 more. Goku-san DBZ, Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh yeah. That's partially my fault. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I mean, y'all know I'm gonna stick up.
yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. All the cowbell memes aside, there are
They're
many.
more than just that song.
They're more than one song.
They are more
Not
than just
much
that
more.
song.
Mark.
They're more than one
They-
Saturday
they
Night
have-
Live sketch.
Mark, they are your dad's favorite band.
No, they aren't. I
No, they are.
Anyone
Well, they
have
are
any-
They are many dads' favorite band.
Anyone
know that.
have,
Dire Straits, really?
anyone have anything they want else to add about Blue Oyster Cult? A 2-hit wonder?
I feel like I want to quickly acknowledge this because somebody tried to request Blue Oyster Cult for me to cover their new album that dropped in 2020 for my schedule.
Yeah, you don't.
Is that your
No.
dad's favorite album?
It has the feel of me reviewing Deep Purple at this stage of their career. It's so late career, there is no stakes, and there is no real point in me talking about it, especially as the band is just kind of doing a revival thing with not many of the full-time members back. And it feels kind of pointless.
Okay.
I mean, I'll come out and say we don't need to talk about Blue Oyster Cult like now, like not anymore, but yeah, like I don't know, they've got good stuff. My only comment: check out their Black and White era, like their first 3 albums. Some surprisingly good stuff in there.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
John, anything you want to add?
I mean, not really. Honestly, I'd be lying if I said I'd explored like everything they've done, but
I'm the
just
same
based
way.
on the stuff that I have heard, you know, like they're not one of my favorite like classic rock or even 70s, 80s bands, whatever. But
They're not the best jam band type sound you're ever going to hear, but they still able to make it work, in my opinion. So
Y'all be wearing gold-plated diapers.
I guess that Christopher Walken does count as an impression, everyone. I think that's very fair. Yes.
Yeah.
You were supposed to say, what does that mean? And I was never Dickinson. Okay.
Very well.
For the memes, y'all.
Yeah, I
for the
know.
memes.
For the memes.
From Travis Elliott, again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing this, Mudvayne.
Don't know him well enough. I'll recuse.
yeah,
He didn't
I don't know
specify.
him well
He
enough.
didn't specify an era. He
Just Mudvayne in general.
I can do this. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Because he didn't specify an era.
Same. I think
Sure,
they
but
led
they've
with-
got some valleys.
Yes, they do.
Dude,
They
but yeah.
led with their best foot forward at the beginning.
yeah.
They started with their best, and they had a lot of downhill motions as years
yeah.
went on. I mean,
They
if you
made
got, it got bad. If you found like not the last album, the second to last album, whatever that was, there was like one song out of 10, and it was wretched. The lyric
Yeah,
quality.
like, ugh.
And as someone that is a fan of Chad Gray, his lyric writing has gotten worse over the years, and that's proof in his current band. What? Oh wow,
Hell-
I'm blanking on
Hell Yeah?
Hell yeah.
Well,
Oh, them.
Yeah, hell yeah,
I didn't
hell
know
yeah.
that was the oh,
hell
that
yeah,
makes,
yeah.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
On paper, Hell Yeah should be amazing. The former drummer of Pantera with him and Machine Head, and got the singer of Mudvayne. It was never that great, guys.
Never that. They had their
They
had
were not
moments.
even good. Let's not. They weren't good.
They weren't good. No, on the whole, they weren't good.
So with Mudvayne, yes, I think their first album buoys them up to get the thumbs up overall. But man,
I'll go out on a limb and say their first two.
yeah,
like,
the
even
second
that second
one,
album.
the second one, yeah.
Even the second album has cuts that it has a lot of ridiculous on it, but
They're
this
still
band
good.
in general has a lot of ridiculous. So but
They
I don't know,
named their
they're still-
band Mudvayne. It's gonna be ridiculous.
You know what you're in for.
Yeah.
You know what you're in for when it comes to that band. But they were their first two records are better than they have any right to be. But yeah, eventually they got to that point, and like they never came out of it.
Yeah.
Ryan Martin was such a bass. He
Okay.
really was. Ugh.
Two more from Devin Sterling: Tool's Anima versus Lateralis.
Ooh, devilish.
That is a good suggestion, though.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
Really, really good one.
This is
Really
part of
good
the
one.
reason why I've been stumped on my Tool ranked episode. I've been supposed to
It's
put out for
hard.
like a year.
And there's not even that
can't
many.
say it.
And there's
That's
not
no
even that
hard.
many albums.
Yeah.
There's not that many.
some- As someone
Right.
who made that video, that's a hard video to make,
It's a
isn't it,
hard
John?
it's so hard, so hard. Like how do you order them? Like it's so hard.
John, all I can tell you is that be prepared for the comments, man, because they're coming.
I know.
They're
I already
coming.
know. I did a top 10 on them, and I know what I'm prepared for, and it's even
Yep.
worse with the albums.
Brace for it, my dude. It's happening.
Anima. 1, 2, 3.
Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, it's getting pride
I'm
up.
the only one. Okay,
yeah.
for Lateralis.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I'll stick up for Lateralis.
See, I knew you were on that.
Alrighty,
Yeah,
okay.
I get it.
That's-
I get it.
Lateralis, I
Yeah.
feel beginning to end, was not only just such a monumental masterpiece. Also, this was an album that came out after years of silence from Tool to come out that strong. And this is where they triple down on song structure, lyric writing, forming the guitar work, everything. That's why I love Anima 10 out of 10 album. Do not think I am begrudging that in any way. I'm just saying I prefer Lateralis. That's it.
Yeah.
My name is Luke Spencer. I do not reflect the opinions of these three men. Please do not leave hate comments towards them. That is my opinion. Did I cover everyone? Is everyone clear on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just making sure you guys are set. Mark, why does Anima get it over Lateralis?
Y'all know I'm not the biggest Tool fan, so
Fair.
I'll just say this. I think Anima has a slightly... It's more streamlined, for one. I think the writing is... it gets away from Tool getting lost in their own eccentricity, because that is an issue on Lateralis. and a lot of it, I think,
Lateralis indulges. I agree.
It's an indulgent album. And for people who are crazy into Tool, I totally get why Lateralis works for them in that concept. For someone who isn't, I go back to Anima and I'm like, the songs are a little better. They're more accessible. There's a little bit more structure. There's a little more melody. I think Lateralis can get kind of locked in its own grooves and lost in its own head a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know what? For as dumb as Tool's lyrics can be, and I am the guy
real talk.
I will push that for a long time, and I will piss a lot of people off by saying it. Anima locks into the right timbre of dumb than Lateralis does.
And I think Lateralis like shed a lot of hooker with a penis-esque writing from Tool. But again, you won't hear me.
And there were lesser for it.
Well, Crash, if you would like to follow up that zinger.
I see. The thing is, with me, Anima is just so. It's like the perfect. It's the most perfectly balanced album in their catalog. It's the right it's the right blending of early Tool with all the aggression, with all the anger, with all the silliness, with all the, goofiness, with all of the juvenileness. It's the right bit of the early era and the right little balance of their more explorative, their more ambitious side. It's the exploratory. It's the right cresting of that other element that would come into later Tool releases, because it's got Third Eye and it's got 46 and 2, and it's got like all these moments on it that are like, whoa, I didn't even know you guys were capable of that. You're capable of that? Wow. It's like it's an album that kind of amazes you, and it's like right at the crest where early Tool bleeds into later Tool, and it's just that perfect balance. Okay. I feel like almost anybody with a strong enough stomach for it can get into that record. And, it also has Bill Hicks on it. And I was a wannabe cynical little kid once upon a time. I was a cynical little edgelord once upon a time. And like,
was that in Catholic school?
That Bill Hicks part was also.
Was that in Catholic school?
Evangelical Christian school.
It was last year.
You were in Catholic school last year? What?
Mark, you're the Catholic school brat, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Christian school for me and Crash.
Okay, Gotcha. So, Pika John, why does Anima over Lateralis?
Pika John does not want to speak too much about this because he still hasn't made up his mind.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
When Tool Rank comes out, and if I somehow contradict myself, I will hear even more in the comments. But you said at Rock Coliseum 9 that
I've gotten people like that on Twitter, by the way. In episode 4 of Rock Coliseum, you changed your mind from Rock Coliseum episode 2. Yeah, I'm allowed to change my mind.
Do you think we watch our own episodes back all the time?
Also, I'm allowed to change my mind after a year. That's actually okay.
Right.
I want to make something. Just from my own perspective, anytime I contradict my or other videos in general, I'm doing it specifically because I hate you. That's all. Just specifically because I hate you personally, and I am out to make you angry, and I did it. Wahahaha. My 8-year plan of doing this to make one single person on the internet mad has succieded.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Yes. Yep. I have no
Especially
I have nothing
Tyler.
but free time.
Yeah, Tyler. Friggin' Tyler, dude. All the Tylers are going to be so pissed at us.
There's like one super nice... there's like one super nice, awesome guy named Tyler's like...
Yeah, oh...
I've been supporting since day one.
I ripped off that joke from Yahtzee.
Yeah. I was going to say, I've heard, Last one of the evening, and then thank you guys so much for the super chats. All of them will be filled out. I've copied them all. I'll get this on the Google Doc. Send this to these guys. We'll get it all in the next couple days, I promise. Thank you guys again. From Dayton Hamilton, this is a song original versus cover versus Sweet Dreams, Eurythmics versus Marilyn Manson.
Oh, come on. Not even close. Fair. Ooh.
Eurythmics. 1, 2, 3.
Boom.
Yeah. Marilyn Manson.
Like big boom.
1, 2, 3.
I mean, y'all know this was coming from me if you watch my stuff.
John, why does Marilyn Manson get the thumbs up?
I have a soft spot, okay?
Okay.
I didn't even know the original song when I heard the cover, like when I was a
Okay.
kid.
Fair enough.
So
Hey, when
Fair
you were a
enough.
kid, it's different though, because you're not going to know the
Yeah.
history. That's
and
understandable.
that was the version that said it, especially a kid in the 2000s. Like, I didn't even have internet at my house, okay? I couldn't just Google this stuff.
yeah.
That's
So I just
again,
oh, it's
fair.
another Marilyn Manson song. And as I downloaded off of LimeWire, who don't have the metadata on the track,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Oh, it'll have
So
stuff on the
forgive
track
me.
on LimeWire, just not metadata, just a ton of other stuff on your computer.
well, good thing I did it at the library.
That's why they shut down the library in your local area. Crash. Why does Eurythmics get the thumbs up?
Because they're
As
the
much
god.
as I go ahead, Crash.
One of you.
Oh,
any
I'm
one
sorry.
of you. Either one of you. Yeah, I don't care who.
Mark, go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay, so as much as I appreciate the LimeWire reminiscence, where half the songs were "Pump It Up" by Joe Budden, and the other half were basically whatever else we could find, especially with all the radio copy-in code that was midway through the song,
Yep.
like the promotional piece.
With the radio ID.
Yep. Oh
yeah,
my
at the
god.
beginning
Yep.
and end of the track.
Yep. The one thing I will say is that I was very lucky because I came to both songs relatively late in my early 20s. So that's where I really got the most exposure to them. But in my early 20s, I was in a very goth scene, especially of goths in their late 30s, early 40s. And they all hated Marilyn Manson.
Ha.
So
Good.
I was...
You
So-
fell in with a good crowd.
So I got early Cure, I got Cocteau Twins,
Ooh,
I got
yeah.
Depeche Mode, I got Sisters of Mercy, I got all
Yeah.
the 80s goth early, and thus I was also the group that said, "Hey, yeah, Pretty Hate Machine and Downward Spiral, of course they're better than the Fragile." Like, so it was very much of that indoctrination early, so that I'm like, Eurythmics, of course Eurythmics are going to be better than Marilyn Manson. Also kind of is, because Eurythmics have groove and Marilyn Manson kind of struggles with that.
Agreed.
As someone who's not crazy about either version of the song, I've never been that crazy about Sweet Dreams in itself. I would still prefer the Eurythmics. It's such a nostalgia trip from the 80s. Super synth, everything style, where I feel Marilyn Manson's covers just never did that much for me. If that makes sense.
Feel kind of forced.
Very forced.
And I don't hate Marilyn Manson by any stretch either. I don't want to put that out there. I'm just saying his covers never really did much for me. And
Oh, come on, man. This is Halloween.
He also
Yeah,
did,
my Halloween is Swans
Meryl-
and Nick Cave.
Yeah,
like,
and he also did.
No,
Yeah.
No, he did
this
the
is
cover
Halloween cover
of the Nightmare
on
Before Christmas. He
Before
did that.
Christmas.
He was part of that like soundtrack remake, like the Panic at the Disco and Marilyn Manson. They did all the songs on as a soundtrack. Or it was like a big collaboration. But like when I think of Marilyn Manson, I think of like the Highway to Hell cover and all this other stuff. And it's just,
I have not heard.
He covered Highway to Hell.
it's as bad as you think it is. Oh,
I
yeah.
have
not
not
as bad
heard
as
that.
Celine Dion's.
That's true. That's one of the worst
Touche.
covers of all time. So,
She covered that?
well, Celine,
Oh,
Marilyn Manson
she-
covered Highway to Hell. Yeah, Celine Dion covered "Shook Me All Night Long," and I wanted to cry.
Yeah,
Oh.
she covered it live at I think like
That's
the
on my
VH1
top 10.
awards or
That's on my top
Why?
10 worst covers of all time.
But
because
why, though?
The Celine
because
Dion
God
cover.
hates us.
It's. Think of every drunk mom at karaoke ever. That's the performance.
Singing "You Shook Me Home."
Yes.
Oh God.
I mean, she's like
basically
trying to
that.
do the axe kick while singing and going, "Come on, girlfriends," while singing the
It's-
song. Yeah, it's. I'm not
Yeah,
making this up. This is on my video too. Her actual
Oh,
footage.
no.
No, that's dude, that's worth looking up.
Yeah.
That's again, if you want some comedy that'll make you sad. Yeah, that's because she's getting into it, man.
Oh,
She is
no,
like
yeah.
she is your mom 3 wines deep. She's like, I was a sex machine.
Uh-huh.
She wasn't
She's
born
strutting
with
around
me.
trying to be grooving,
Ooh.
and Meredith Brooks is playing guitar for her in the background. Oh yeah.
Oh, Meredith,
That's a
you're
thing.
better than that, honey. Oh,
How do we end with Celine Dion on Rock Coliseum? How does that work?
Oh.
Well, she worked with Meatloaf with Jim Steinman for "It's All Coming Back to Me Now."
Is that
oh, that's right. Yeah,
yay?
Yeah, Jim Steinman wrote that song.
yeah.
Awesome.
He also wrote "Total Eclipse of the Heart." So
Yep.
I've also seen a woman strip to "It's All Coming Back to Me Now." So that's interesting.
Okay.
Okay, Mark.
That
mid karaoke too.
How is that?
I gotta say,
How is that?
Wait! It wasn't a strip club.
I was about to say, where were you?
no, it was at karaoke.
What kind of weird karaoke session was that, Mom? At? Ugh.
I'd rather see one total
either.
to the heart.
How is that? How is there any sex appeal in that song at all?
Mark, please at least tell me this poor woman was very drunk.
Oh no, she was doing it intentionally.
Was it
She
like?
kind of nailed it too.
How do you nail that?
Look, it was one of those things you had to see to believe, and it did happen.
I don't want to see
And it was one of those. And I'm like, I don't get it, but I understand it, and I kind of respect it.
Some of us have existential moments when, upon the birth of our first child, or after surviving a near-death experience, or coming to a grand sort of recognition of the importance of life and how meaningful it can be. Mark, you had that experience to a woman stripping to "It's All Coming Back to Me Now." That is fascinating.
Some of us have existential thoughts lying awake for 5 hours at night. That's going to be me tonight thinking, how is all coming back to me sexy? How did someone in Canada think that?
But when you kiss me like this, and you need me like that, it was lost long ago, but it's all coming.
Is anyone in the chat room thinking this is hot?
Me.
Like, really getting into this?
Yes.
Pikachu!
I mean,
What was that, John? What did you just do? What would you...
$500 super chat, and we'll get Luke to do it.
Yo, yeah, you get sure. $500, yeah, I'll do that.
That was not an encouragement to any of you. Just
No,
saying it now.
I'm kidding, by the way.
30 seconds.
Joke.
You got $500, I'll give you 30 seconds. It's not going to happen, guys.
that's
You say that.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I mean...
somebody step up to the plate here.
Someone just said in the chat, Annie just said in the chat, I need to throw dollar bills. Sorry, guys, you couldn't pull up $500. I would have done it for you, too. Rats.
Darn.
Rats, guys. Sorry. Rats. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Oh my God! Someone did it! No, I'm kidding.
No, they didn't. I'm looking at the chat right now. I'm looking at the chat.
I'm looking right at it.
I just wanted to see if I can get you. That's all.
You did.
They just donated it straight to Crash.
God. And Crash's PayPal.
I'll take it.
Well, Annie is Undead just tipped a tip from my boy Mark for such a good song.
It is a great song.
It is a good. Oh yeah, it's a great.
It's
no,
not
even I agree.
sexy. That's my argument for a stripper song.
I'm just befuddled as how does that work? It's like I can't even wrap my head around.
It was very goth. Like it
Okay.
was and like you can lean into that element. I think there is a way to make this work. I understood the logic to it. It made a perverse sort of sense at the time.
Okay.
All right, everybody, make sure to tip your waitresses. If you have your $5 cover, here comes Cinnamon. If you kiss me like this. What the heck? No! No!
I need something more refined if I'm on that setting, like Lips of an Angel.
Oh, yeah.
Or like
If you're getting turned on by Lips of an Angel, even back in the day when that song was a big deal, something is wrong with you.
But that song does sound like it.
It was really good to hear her voice. Okay,
saying my name, that sounds so
sweet.
My girl's in the next room.
I don't care that you called me the wrong name. It's still a name.
It's still a name.
Still a name. I can be Bobby. It's fine. I'm Bobby. I can be Luke.
I can be Ralph. That's fine.
That's fine. It's John, but whatever.
You don't even have to remember my name. That's fine too. Oh, guys. Let's end it with Celine Dion and Hinder collaborating, and we'll figure that out.
Celine covering Lips of an Angel.
I was thinking more Hinder covering It's All Coming Back to Me, because that I could do.
As always, we would like to thank everyone for giving super chats. We will get this document out to you next time. We stayed a little bit longer because we started longer and we couldn't stop talking about Celine Dion. We apologize, but this was something that needed to be discussed. I want to give this time to these three gentlemen to talk about what they have coming up soon for all of you to check out on the channels, which are all in the description below. John, go ahead. What do you have coming up soon on your channel for ARTV?
It's been a busy past week or so. There were a lot of new albums. So for the first time in a little while, I actually dropped like 3 or 4 album reviews for current releases, like Nothing But Thieves. And I can't even remember. It's been less than a week. And I'm already in the cycle of what's coming out this week. I literally, just because I scheduled it for 10:15 because I thought that the Rock Coliseum would be over. I'm sorry, I had a video go live. It was my Bring Me the Horizon post-human survival horror review is out. And then this weekend, I have the third quarter album awards on Sunday. Awesome. So big roundup show, big premiere. Look for that sometime in the evening.
Very awesome. Mark, what do you have coming up on Spectrum Pulse?
The big things for me right now, as of my biggest video I think I've ever put out is my top 100 best albums of the 2010s. That video went live about just under a month ago. Very proud of how that turned out. If you have 2.5 hours, go watch it. It's a lot of fun.
It's worth it.
Can confirm.
Yeah. So the one thing I'm working on right now is the next episode of On the Pulse. It may be a day or so late. I just need a little bit more time, maybe to sit with the new Mountain Goats, the new clipping. The new clipping is fucking excellent, by the way.
Nice.
I've heard.
But also on that list is also that's going to be covered in that episode is the new Struts, the new I Don't Know How But They Found Me, and the new Pup EP.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
this
right.
Place sucks.
It wasn't.
Yeah, this place
It's
sucks
not
ass.
great, but it wasn't bad either. It was
the job done.
Yeah, it was very much a B-side EP. You could tell, but
Sure.
overall that is fine.
From Pup,
that's what I'm working on right now. Also, I've got a video essay that is. I finally finished the draft. I may piss everyone off when it goes live, but it might not be this year. It might be early January next year. Depends on how my editing process goes. I will say that.
Interesting.
Potential controversy on Spectrum Pulse. We'll have stay tuned for that. Crash, what do you have coming up on your channel? Crash Thompson.
Whew. Well, people, again, thank you very much for being in. Thank you for super chats, and if you haven't liked the video yet,
Please
be sure to leave a like on your way out the door. Just gonna lay that out there. But people, the thing I dropped most recently over on my channel is of course the Fimi. Covered a lot of ground on that one, even some bands we talked about here in the Coliseum, but I went over in a bit more graphic detail in some other groups here and there. That's up there right now to check out. I am currently working on my next long-form video, though, which I actually mentioned on Twitter that I was going to announce what that was going to be. Here's the moment. The next long-form video I am working on is how to get into Van Halen. Gonna finally... See, that was a video I was considering doing even before Ed's passing, rest in peace, so... I mean, what better time to actually honor the man and the band's legacy by, again, like I said, someone brought up Van Halen. That's going to be spoilers for me, but
yeah, even so.
But yeah, that's coming up. I'll try to get that done sometime in November. Obviously, I'm not going to get it done in the next 2 days, but yeah, that's coming up soon. Expect a lot of good stuff and expect a lot of Van Hagar defense. Just gonna lay that out there right now.
Good.
Yeah. Works for me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
As for me, if you haven't already checked it out, on this past Monday, just a couple days ago, I put out an album review on Pussifer's new album, Existential Reckoning, that art rock style from Maynard James Keenan's third band, because he can never stop making music no matter what he tries. Also, I'm glad John said he put out his album review of Bring Me the Horizon tonight, because mine comes out tomorrow on Post-Human Survival Horror, so it worked out perfectly for that. Check that out tomorrow. On Friday, I will be re-releasing my video on 10 horror music videos in rock. I tried to do that last year. It got demonetized and de-pushed by YouTube, so it's just kind of sat on the channel untouched and unlisted. So this will be So this will be a censored black and white version, but it's pretty much all the same words. I didn't have to cut out anything like that. So please check that on Friday, get some views on that. And then my next list video I shall be working on the week after. I'm going to be talking about 10 bands that could have worked in past generations, in past decades. Think of bands like Ghost that could have totally killed it in the 70s alongside Black Sabbath and Kiss. Think of generational stuff like that. So bands that are active currently right now in 2020 that totally would have killed it back in different decades, the 70s, 80s, 90s, things like that.
That's a fun
like
topic.
temples in the 60s.
Something like that.
Temples.
Yes, something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
So I have my list written out. I think I have 9 entries down. I've already written them out. I'm still trying to debate the last one I want to do. So check that out. Thank you guys again. We always love doing this. It's been a while since we've been able to do this. Pandemic and real life just got in the way. So thank you guys again. Thank you for all the super chats. We'll get the full thing. Totally doing that, the full super chat document to you guys as soon as possible. I would like to say, however, we've heard a couple weird impressions. Can we get Celine Dion and Hinder to sing us off at the same time? Is that possible?
Sing us off?
Yes.
Oh, God.
What song?
Well, clearly, it's all coming back to me now with the rendition at the same time and same speed of Lips of an Angel. They're obviously the same tempo and speed.
I barely... That's a big ask, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
I can do the Hinder piece. I can do Hinder of It's All Coming Back to Me Now.
Crash, can you do Celine Dion?
Celine Dion? I don't know.
John, can you do HAR?
I can do, but Pikachu is basically HAR.
Okay, I'll do... Okay,
Yeah.
and
I do all kinds of pitch shifting, so it's all good.
Okay, I'll do Puddle of Mud because I hate them. So we'll all do something. We'll all just copy it, okay? Okay.
Oh, God.
All right.
So Mark, Crash, John, myself, in that order. We'll follow like row, row, row your boat style, and then just sing on top of each other.
So we're gonna do a round and just destroy everybody's ears.
Yes. How else would How else would we
We're
end
trying
Rock
to clear
Coliseum?
everyone out.
Yeah, we got. It's closing time, guys. We got to get you out of the bar.
I can sing closing time.
yeah,
That
why can't we
works.
just-
Yeah,
Closing
time. There you go.
Let's do closing time. That would be so much more fun.
In the style of Hinder.
Having an asthma attack while he's trying to sing.
Closing time. One last call for alcohol. Finish your whiskey, beer.
Pika!
Closing time.
Driver,
You don't have to go, but you can't stay here.
Pikachu!
I wanna take you home. I
Call an ambulance!